baseball. Here's your Sherwin-Williams starting lineup tonight for the Houston Astros, managed by Art Howe. Craig Biggio leads off at second base. Kevin Bass in center field will bat second. Jeff Bagwell, good player at first base. He hits third. Eric Anthony in right field. The cleanup spot, Ken Caminetti at third base hits fifth. Luis Gonzalez in left field will hit sixth. Scott Service, the catcher, bats seventh. Andujar Cedeno, the shortstop, hits eighth. On the mound, the left-hander Greg Swindell will pitch and bat ninth.
On defense for the Phillies tonight, it'll be Hollins at third base. Millette will play shortstop. Duncan is over at second base, and John Kruk is at first base. Pete Incaviglia will get the start tonight in left field. Lenny Dykstra again in center, and Wes Chamberlain gets the start in right field. On the mound, it will be Danny Jackson, and behind the plate, Darren Dalton.
And there is Danny Jackson, the 6-footer. He's 205 pounds, 31 years of age, born in San Antone, Texas. #1 pick of Kansas City back in January of 1989. There are the numbers on Danny, coming off a strong performance. A no decision his last time out at Cincinnati. He has really pitched well for the Phillies this year. Here are the umpires for the ball game tonight. Behind home plate is Jerry Davis. The first base umpire, Mark Hirschbach. At second base, Brian Gorman. At third base, veteran and crew chief Bruce Fremming. Beautiful night for baseball here at the Vet. Temperature probably in the 70s here at game time, and the Houston Astros come into town a hot team. They've won 4 in a row, 8 out of 10, and they are in second place in the Western Division with a 31-23 record, just 4 games behind the front-running San Francisco Giants.
Chris, we need to point out right away that Millette's at shortstop, and a good time to have a good fielding shortstop there, because Danny Jackson should throw a lot of ground balls to that side of the infield.
There is Joe Millette, just up from Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Was in uniform yesterday, did not play in the ball game. Craig Biggio leads it off, and the pitch to the New Jersey native is over for a strike call. Danny Jackson, the league, batting .252 against him. He had a no decision in the Phil 6-3 win in 10 innings on April 7th at the Dome. Jose De Leon beat that game as the Phillies completed a 3-game sweep of Houston to start the season, and they have been on a roll ever since.
No sense in looking back.
Must have been
wire to wire.
Must have been that little talk you gave him in spring training. Fly ball left field. Incaviglia comes in, now heads back on the track, and he makes the play. You know, we've seen balls lost like that early in the game, sometimes in the twilight. It looked like he didn't see it right away.
Well, it is a problem at this time of the evening, and what happens, you know, you lose sight of the ball because you look up, all of a sudden you can't find it. The key is not to really be focused on one particular area, but take in the whole area of home plate so you can never lose sight of the ball.
Here is the veteran Kevin Bass playing tonight in center field. Steve Finley, normally the center fielder, but he's been struggling a little bit against left-handed pitching, so they're starting Bass tonight, a switch hitter. Hits the first pitch to Duncan, and Kevin Bass is retired. Quickly 2 up and 2 down here in the first inning for Danny Jackson. And that'll bring up one of the best players in the National League, Jeff Bagwell, ranking among the league leaders in 10 categories. He's 4th in hitting at .341, 9th in homers with 10, and 6th in RBIs with 41 of them.
What have you done for me lately? I think he's like 2 for 30 in his last.
And he's struggling a little bit right now.
He's still hitting .341.
Right, he's 1 for 19 in the past week, and he has been struggling a little bit. He loves the ball inside. They say they'll pitch him away. And the first pitch is away on the outside corner for a strike. He's one of those guys that likes to get the ball inside and work it. And he is an Iron Man. Ooh, a good fastball and a late swing and a miss, 0-2.
This gives you an idea how difficult it is to hit a baseball. I mean, here's a guy that's hitting well, .341, and he's struggling up there. How about Barry Bonds, over .400 for a good part of the first third of the season, and now he's starting to struggle. Even the best struggle.
Oh, yeah. And Danny Jackson should have a 1-2-3 inning here. He does. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Bottom of the first coming up. No score.
We know how to help you save on Dodge Caravan during the National Minivan Sale. Take this one. You can get over $1,800 in total savings, including air and no extra charge with the Family Value Package. Or check out this loaded Grand Caravan LE with $2,600 in total savings, including sale prices on some of our most popular luxury options. Only at the Minivan Store. See your nearest Dodge dealer. We know how to help.
stars drift right into space. British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
Hey, kid, how about a float?
The frosty mug taste of an A&W root beer float. It really brings back memories.
Dad?
A&W, our frosty mug taste brings you back.
And here's your Sherwin-Williams starting lineup for the Phillies, managed by Jim Fregosi. Lenny Dykstra in center field. Mariano Duncan at second base. John Kruk, the first baseman. Dave Hollins at third will bat cleanup. Darren Dalton catches and hits fifth. Pete Cavilla, hot hitter in left field, will bat sixth. Wes Chamberlain, the right fielder, hits seventh. Joe Millett, a star tonight at shortstop. And on the mound, Danny Jackson.
And on defense for the Houston Astros, Kim Caminetti at third base. Andrew Harcedeno as a shortstop. Craig Biggio at second base. Jeff Bagwell, the first baseman. In the outfield, Luis Gonzalez in left. Kevin Bass in center. And Eric Anthony is in right field. Behind the plate, Scott Service. And on the mound tonight, left-hander Greg Swindell.
There is Swindell. He's 6'3". He's 225 pounds, 28 years of age, from Houston, Texas. Now makes his home in Sugar Land, Texas, near Houston. #1 pick of Cleveland back in June of 1986. A Longhorn out of the University of Texas and a high-price free agent during the offseason. A guy the Phillies courted a little bit, but found out almost immediately that all he wanted to do was sign with Houston, because that's his hometown. And Lenny Dykstra will lead it off. He's been a hot hitter lately, and he's always hit Swindell well. 6 for 12 against his left-hander, a .500 average. Swindell pitched 2 shutouts in this ballpark last year for the Cincinnati Reds, and those are his 2 wins over the Phillies' lifetime. Lenny Dykstra leading the league in doubles, along with Cincinnati's Joe Oliver and that man Bonds.
There's Caminetti on there for the Astros with 16, so he's been hot of late.
He's a good player, too. Houston Astros are a very good baseball team with a lot of good young players and a lot better pitching than they had before.
They're a young ball club, and that's one of the things that is presenting a problem for them. They don't have that veteran leader. But talking to Bob Watson, who is the assistant general manager, he was saying that the team is progressing, and he can just see them growing as individuals every game.
And Craig Swindell is one of the toughest guys in the league to get a walk-off. Only 14 walks so far this year in 74 1/3 innings. There's Bob Watson, the Bull. What a great RBI man he was. Lenny Dykstra trying to get his way on, and he takes strike 2. Swindell at one point this year faced 70 consecutive batters without issuing a walk. And he's tied for 5th fewest walks per 9 innings issued in the league. Just 1.7 per 9 innings. 3-2 pitch, and Dykstra fouls it off. Someone must have made a great catch down there. We hear that big roar go up.
Boy, I made the mistake of going into the Phillies clubhouse about 15 minutes before game time, and they had their game faces on.
Yeah, they do.
Half of them didn't recognize me.
They give you a lot of hi. Hi.
Hi. How you doing?
Yeah. Popped up. Playable in the infield. Who wants it? Biggio squeezes it, 1 away. So Dykstra had worked the count to 3-1, and then Swindell, who we mentioned, he just doesn't walk many people, came back and got him.
Well, the good thing about facing Swindell, you know he's going to be around the plate. The bad thing is you don't know where he's going to be. Inside, outside, real good control. And you see he had Lenny off balance a little bit. He just popped it up.
Mariano Duncan, the batter, a hot hitter, a team-high 11-game hitting streak he's working on right now, batting .347 during that streak.
Well, whatever virus he has, they maybe need to spread it around.
Really.
Hope it's contagious.
Fouls it off. He's a .301 lifetime hitter against left-handed pitching. As we look at the left field ball girl, and that is Erin Kelly from Mount Laurel, New Jersey. No balls and a strike on Duncan, who swings through a high fastball. Swindell has been struggling a little bit lately.
Particularly on the road, where he's had his ERA is in the high 5s.
Yeah, yet he's been winning on the road, but as you say, he's been getting knocked around in road games. He started off losing to the Phillies. There's a swing and a foul tip held on to by the catcher Service. Strikeout #1 for Swindell. And then he won 4 in a row after that.
You talk about him pitching in and out. Look at this ball outside. Duncan saw the ball inside before, and now he sees it on the outside part of the plate. After being set up, you have a tendency to just reach for that ball. And that's what Mariano did.
And here's Kruk. Third in the league at hitting at .354. Takes a fastball inside, ball 1.
Kruk was one of the guys that recognized me in the clubhouse. And I commented on the fact of how loud they were playing that music down there this time around. He said, yeah, a lot like last year.
Yeah. Sound like a tomb in there last year. 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, they have a good time, the Phillies. There's no doubt about it. And winning, of course, is a huge part of that. But they do enjoy themselves. But when it gets near game time, they do have a game face. They don't remember names. That's a good. I never thought about that. They don't call you by. You just walk around and they say hi.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Yeah.
I said, Lenny, it's me.
There they are.
And it's different for starters, non-starters, how you prepare for a game.
There's Dykstra. He's still upset that he didn't get on base. Foul away after having Swindell 3-1. Kruk's hitting .400 in his last 25 games. He's upped his average from .312 to .354. He's tied for the league lead in walks now at 46. Kruk's been getting on base a lot. 2 balls and 2 strikes to him. 2 outs and nobody on in the first. Fastball. Ooh, Swindell wanted it, didn't get it. And the count full at 3-2. You saw Swindell starting to head for the dugout.
You know, the Phillies have had it fairly easy, I would say, with having played Colorado a couple times and the Florida Marlins, and now they have to play a tough team in Houston.
Oof. Swindell's not going to walk you.
Boy, that ball smoked right up there. That's the thing. He'll challenge you and let you go ahead and swing the bat to have to get on. I was saying, Chris, that Phillies are facing a tough ball club here, and it's good for them to go out and play well so that their confidence can remain high. You see 3-2, he's going to come right at you, and John Kruk goes right back up the middle with it. Nothing fancy, just a line drive.
So the first base runner of the ball game belongs to the Phillies in the person of one John Kruk, and here's Dave Hollins.
When you have these types of matchups, you like a team like the Phillies. They have a big lead, so they're going to be a lot more relaxed coming into this series. Houston, they have some work to do to catch San Francisco, so they're taking this serious.
4 games out at game time. The Astros come into play tonight with the best earned run average in the league. The Phillies are second, tied with the Atlanta Braves. Prior to yesterday's game, the Phillies had the best team ERA, but gave up 7 runs to the Rockies that dropped the tie for second. Hollins batting .372 right-handed. .293 overall. Good changeup from Swindell. He'll throw fastball, breaking ball, changeup, and has good motion with his changeup.
He does. Real good arm speed, and he'll come up there, and you might be looking for that changeup, but he has the ability to reach back and throw the ball by you. You know, and he sets it up real nice by throwing a lot of changeups, keeping you off balance, and then he'll rear back and throw one.
And he's ahead of Hollins now, 0-2 with Dalton waiting on deck. Hollins to right field. Eric Anthony came in, now goes back and makes the play near the warning track. That'll do it for the Phils in the first. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left. 1 down, and there's no score.
It's out there. Tonight's winning daily number is out there. So what are you waiting for? Get out there and play it. The Pennsylvania Lottery's daily number. Don't forget to play every day.
Do Texaco food marts really have everything?
Oh, they have gum, cheese, candy.
Many reasons I come to Texaco.
Chips, cereals, nice people.
There are many reasons.
You want it, they got it. If they don't have it, you don't need it.
Isn't that candy that pulls apart like that?
Did I skip something?
Visit your Texaco station and food mart for unbeatable System 3 gasoline.
Pop comes here for System 3, and I come here for Pop. Right, Mom?
And just about everything else.
I'd recommend it to anybody. And I would, too.
The Phillies are making fireworks during the games, and we've got 2 spectacular fireworks shows after the San Diego games. Friday, July 2nd, when a doubleheader starts at 4:35, and Saturday, July 3rd at 7:05. Then all kids 14 and under get a free batting helmet when the series wraps up Sunday night, July 4th at 8:05. 2 fireworks spectaculars, free batting helmets, great baseball. Call 463-1000.
Cento Italian Food Products. They're rooting for the Phillies this season. For every Phillies home run, Cento will donate $200 to the Philadelphia Child Guidance Clinic. Nutritional information can be found on all Cento labels. Phillies lead the league in homers this year, 57 of them, so that's quite a bit of money donated by Cento already to the Child Guidance Center, Gary.
Yeah, that's quite a bit, and the people over at Cento really, I know what they're doing has helped the Child Guidance Clinic so much. It's a charity that's pretty close to me, and the Chickatelli family over there, just very generous, very generous.
Here's Eric Anthony, Caminetti, and Gonzalez to face Danny Jackson. Eric Anthony is a good-looking young player that they've been waiting for the last couple years. He's in a little bit of a slump right now. Just 3 for his last 18.
Yeah, he was hitting well over 300, and his numbers were impressive. Now he's starting to tail off a little bit.
Well, they're still batting him 4th, though. They're still showing a lot of confidence, even batting him 4th against a tough left-hander like Jackson. He jams him, he pops it foul out of play.
Well, they know they need his type of production out of that 4-hole. Him or Jeff Bagwell, 18 home runs, 80 RBIs last year. They're waiting to see if he's going to mature into that type of player for him every year. That's pretty impressive in the Astrodome.
Has tremendous power. Although he's just hit 4 homers. Well, we've seen him launch some balls. The Astros have 53 home runs this year in 54 games, including 32 and 32 games at the Astrodome, which is remarkable. There's Bagwell. They are just not a team that's been known for their power over the years. There's a base hit. Jackson got a little bit too much at home plate with that one, and right back through the middle goes Eric Anthony for his first hit of the game, and the first hit by the Houston Astros.
It's a good swing here by Anthony, but Chris, you pointed out Jackson got too much of the plate. That's not where he wants to pitch him. He wants to stay away from him or try and crowd him way in. I guess you want to do that with everybody.
Well, some more than others. Caminetti, the batter, he's hot on a 5-game hitting streak. He's hitting .421 during that streak. Caminetti's a switch hitter. Bats .277 right-handed, .250 from the left side. Caminetti lifetime off Danny Jackson, .429 with a homer and a run batted in. Jackson has not pitched very well against Houston, just 1-5 with an ERA of 6.54.
Really, and he's not won in the Astrodome in his career.
Step off move, and he almost got it. Jackson's really developed a good step off move. Saw those numbers as we look at Anthony just getting back.
He gets back. You see, when a guy is sitting out there like that, that step-off move works. If he's starting to lean just a little bit towards second base, you can nail him.
Oh, that goes right back through the middle.
Not hit hard at all. Got in on him, just kind of big swing and a softly hit line drive back up the middle.
Looked like Jackson was going to catch him. In fact, I think it fools him right.
Well,
yeah, he
has a shot at it.
Yeah. That's why I thought he had it when it just went over his glove. So the Astros come out with 2 men on base, nobody out, and here is Tampa native Luis Gonzalez.
Ball hit that softly. You would think that Anthony had a shot at maybe going to third on that, but you don't want to make that first out at third base. Give the guys a chance to move you around now.
Phillies, of course, would not look for a bunt in this situation. I'm getting down to near the bottom of the order, and Gonzalez, a good hitter, will be swinging the bat here. And a swing and a foul up the plate. No balls and 1 strike. Astros with 2 men on here, nobody out in the 2nd inning.
Gonzalez, another player they're waiting to see how he develops there.
Playing him every day.
Yeah.
As he's in here against Jackson, the left-hander. Houston 19 and 13 at home, 12 and 10 on the road. Fouled out of play.
I mean, I don't think we can overlook in this matchup the fact that the Phillies were able to start their top 3 starters against Colorado and pretty much have a chance at getting those victories. You'd much rather have them pitch against Colorado than have to match up with this Houston Astros rotation. It's a good, to me, it was just outstanding managing to get those guys to pitch against Colorado.
Strike 3 call. Gonzalez had hit 2 home runs off Jackson in that first series at the Astrodome, 2 solo homers. And here he strikes him out.
See, this is the inexperience I'm talking about. You have to put the ball in play in a situation like this and move those runners along.
Gonzalez thinks the ball is low, but you know, it looked like it was knee high.
Well, you got to look at the situation, especially with 2 strikes on you and runners in this situation. You know you cannot get called out looking.
Scott Service, who platoons with Eddie Taubensee, a left-handed hitting catcher, facing Jackson. Service out of the this guy is, well, if you look at their 2 catchers, he might be the better hitter of the 2, and Taubensee a better catcher and thrower.
Well, what the Astros wanted to do was give someone a chance to win the job, and right now Service has that. He's come to the forefront. Bob Watson was quick to say that. Big game yesterday for him. I think he had 3 or 4 doubles.
It was 3, and it was a team record for the Houston Astros. So that pitch is over.
He also had the game-winning hit in that ball game.
Tom Spencer, the third base coach, and Ed Ott, the first base coach for Houston. There's a guy that he played a few games with against him, didn't he?
I thought about him after I saw that melee in Camden Yards yesterday.
He'd get in the middle of those.
How about him tackling Mike Schmidt and breaking his finger in Pittsburgh one?
That was when Schmidt went after Keeson one night. There's Ed Ott, who was a state wrestling champion in Pennsylvania.
He went after Keeson. You sure it wasn't Ticovey? Oh no, Ticovey couldn't hurt you anyway.
No, he'd have broken Teak in half.
He never got to Keeson. Ott tackled him.
That's right. Mike was so hot at that point in the season, broke his finger. 1-2 now on Service. Inside, 2-2.
Boy, you see Darren Dalton quick to get out over there to make sure that ball didn't get out of his reach. The last thing he wanted was a pass baller. Watch him anticipate the breaking ball and then go over and get it just to make sure it doesn't get away.
Two balls and 2 strikes now on Service with Andujar Cedeno waiting on deck. And it's outside, 3-2. Now we'll see if the Astros start their runners. This guy Service has been a pretty hot hitter lately, so they might just run him here.
What he's shown me is trouble hitting that Danny Jackson's fastball that's tailing away from him. Looks like he wants to pull the ball, and as a result, he's missing that ball that's on the outside part of the plate. So if Danny Jackson can get it in the right spot, I think he'll get the strikeout and possibly a double play. So maybe they might better hold on a little bit. Don't get those horses off yet.
There they are, the runners. We'll see if they go. Jackson, a long look. There they go. Fouled away. So Art Howe has confidence in Service, and he starts his runners. Happy birthday tonight to Pete Fama, working on videotape down the truck. He's 36. And get well wishes to Joseph Ruggieri of Westchester.
Jerry family, aren't they the ones with that car dealership?
Yeah, it might be the same family. Our old friend George Ruggieri out there. There they go again. Swing and a miss. Dalton's throw. He got him. Strikeout, double play.
Well, we talked about that fastball away, and sure enough, he got it in a good location. Service missed it, and there's a double play. I told you.
That's why we pay you the big bucks up here. Bottom of the second coming up.
Any professional painter will tell you that if you want results like these, you gotta know the tricks of the trade. You gotta ask Sherwin-Williams. Now, these are guys you can trust. They've got good paint, good price, good advice. Guaranteed. Want to know something? I didn't paint this house. The guy that lives there did. Hey, fella, nice job. This guy knows what the pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams.
Upon completing the rear axle assembly diagram set using a 9-inch gripping wrench, tighten the C diagram set and secure the frame extenders to the housing mount. Congratulations, you built a tricycle. While the simplest things can be made complex, the challenge is making the complex simple. But that's what we do at Bell Atlantic Mobile, with straight answers, clear explanations, and with no assembly required. Bell Atlantic Mobile, advanced technology and people who make it mean something.
To soar with eagles, be the best. To win the industry's highest awards for quality, commit to excellence. Provide superior quality products and have the strength to offer them at more than 12,500 locations nationwide. More than any other major brand. Discover for yourself the difference quality can make. Fly with the new superpower.
The Phillies get down to business against the Braves Wednesday, June 23rd, 12:35 in a midweek business person special compliments of Mellon DSFS. Fun in the sun. Pitching against power. Call 463-1000.
Hey, it's filling up quickly, so make that call tonight. Call Dreamweek at 215-938-1200. They'll give you all the information to have one of the best weeks of your life in Clearwater, Florida. 938-1200. You'll stay right on the beach and have the time of your life. See you at Dreamweek next year. Here's Darren Daulton, who's leading the All-Star balloting, and rightly so, as is John Kruk of the Phillies at first base. There are the numbers on Daulton. First National League player to reach the 50 RBI mark this season. Daulton, lifetime off Swindell, just 1 for 4.
Is that good?
Means he didn't play much against him, huh? Ooh. Now he's 2 for 5. Anthony plays it on a hop. Daulton heading for second. Daulton is in with a double. Darren Daulton with his 11th double of the year. It leads off the second inning for the Phillies.
His service, he sat up on the inside part of the plate for that fastball. You see him sitting in there. Swindell gets it there. Boy, and I tell you, Darren Daulton, he must have saw it too, because he was right on that. Stalled it.
Here comes Pete Incaviglia, and Daulton is on second base with that 11th double. Now, Incaviglia is a red-hot hitter, but he has all kinds of trouble with Greg Swindell. 3 for 34 lifetime, 088. He did hit a home run off him in Houston this year. And he strikes out against him a lot. Incaviglia will tell you this is one of the toughest pitchers for him. He faced him a lot in the American League.
So if he has trouble with the guy, does he just try to move the runner over? No.
See, he's hot. Off the end of the bat and a base hit off a changeup. So now that just shows you how smoking hot Incaviglia is, because he gets a hit off an old nemesis.
The first pitch, changeup. He gets a base hit. Darren Daulton had to break back for second base because he didn't know if the ball was going to be caught by the shortstop Cedeno. Just out of his reach, so Darren sees that and is able to mosey on into third base.
So the Phillies in business now. Runners at first and third. Nobody out for Wes Chamberlain. The 333 lifetime hitter off Swindell. 2 for 6. Wes batting .304 off left-handed pitching. And a .300 career average against these Houston Astros. Takes strike 1. On deck is Joe Millette.
Swindell, we talk about a good control pitcher, and what he'll try and do in this situation is to get a ground ball double play. They gladly give up 1 run if they could turn 2 here.
Playing Chamberlain to pull in the outfield. Off the end of the bat. There is the throw to second. It had to be a tag, and Incaviglia, they called him out. It had to be a tag play down there, and it sure looked like he beat that play.
He did beat the tag, and I think the umpire was blocked out by Cedeno. He was on the inside part of the infield for that and could not see the tag correctly.
So that's a 3-6 double play.
I don't think it was even close. The only thing that could have happened is Incaviglia did not get to the bag, but I saw him being safe.
Now, Jim Fregosi just went out there and let Brian Gorman have his say of what happened on the play. And then he just, you know, come on, there's no way. And this one's just one of those ones where the guy misses it, that's all.
Does. He's blocked out. You see him on the inside part of the, in front of second base now. Good play right there. And here comes a tag right here. We don't see if he's in there.
Oh, my, he's popping up.
But you'll see Cedeno look back at the umpire because the umpire is blocked out of the way. See, there's the umpire right there. He can't see whether or not Incaviglia's to the bag or not. But we see he's in there safe. His foot's on the bag and his leg gets tagged.
Yep, so it's just a bad call, but it's a double play. And here's Millette, swings and misses. So the Astros get a good call at second base for them. And now the Phillies have 2 outs with the runner at third base. There are Joe Millette's numbers at Scranton Wilkes-Barre, just recalled over the weekend.
Nice piece of hitting by Chamberlain. Nobody on base. That ball is still rolling right now, but they were holding a runner on and was an easy double play ball.
And Bagwell did the right thing. He froze the runner at third. Dalton stepped on first, still had Dalton frozen there, and then goes to second, and they get the double play. Bagwell is an excellent first baseman. A lot of good first basemen in this league. Millette tries to check and can't, and it's 1-2 on him. Millette was up from July 14th through the end of the season with the Phillies last year, appearing in 33 games. After Juan Bell got here, he didn't play very much.
Had quite a few hits, too.
Fouled in and out of the glove. The catcher, Scott Service.
See, what Millette will see here that he will not see in AAA is someone like Swindell, who will spot the ball in different locations and get ahead of you. You know, usually in the minor leagues, you can sit there, and in certain situations, you can look for a certain pitch. But up here, it's completely different. And these guys throw the spots, believe me.
And Swindell trying to get out of a big jam. Phillies had first and third with nobody out. Now there's a runner at third and 2 outs. And he fouls that one away. Millette hit .205 up here for the Phillies in his limited playing time last season. As we mentioned, once Bell came over in that deal with Baltimore, he was the regular shortstop, and Millette saw very limited action. He was not even in camp with the Phillies this year, and he was playing at second base at Scranton Wilkes-Barre.
And Millette will use this opportunity here as a chance to showcase. He knows he's not in the Phillies' plans, but you're in the big leagues, and there's no telling what'll happen.
Hit to deep left field. However, a long run out there for the left fielder, Luis Gonzalez, and he runs it down. He was playing really shallow, but that ball stayed in the air a long time and then just died. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. No score.
You can feel it deep inside. Dedication and a real sense of pride. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud.
Yeah, how far away do you think I can get in 72 hours?
I wouldn't trust my car past the city limits.
For the way you travel today more than ever, the Smart Money is on budget. Plan a great getaway by giving Budget a call. You'll get great rates on great cars. The Smart Money is on budget.
Let's say you want a well-equipped 6-passenger car for under $13,000. Look into Dodge Spirit. With the right package, you can get one with options like air conditioning, speed control, and more. And right now, you'll get it all with at least $1,000 cash back, making it the lowest priced 6-passenger car you can buy for only $12,625. Meaning whether you buy, lease, or just want to look, Spirit is a logical choice. See your nearest Dodge dealer today. We know how to help.
It's the 10th reunion of the National League champs. The 83 Phillies play an 83 All-Star team Saturday, June 19th, 6 p.m. in the Heroes of Baseball game, compliments of Upper Deck. Before the Phillies play the Marlins at 7:35. Call 463-1000.
The 10th reunion of the 83 National League champion Phils are coming up, and the Heroes of Baseball game on Saturday night, June the 19th. Phillies play the Marlins at 7:35. You can see that game beginning at 6 o'clock. Mike Schmidt, Tug McGraw, Gary Matthews, my partner here, Gary Maddox. John Denny, Von Hayes, Tony Perez, and many, many more will be here to play. So come on out that night. You'll see the Marlins in a good game. It's starting at 6 o'clock. Just call 463-1000 for your tickets. A lot of people come out just to see Gary Maddox put on that uniform again. Here's Andujar Cedeno, a little bit of a wild swinger, and he swings and misses. Strike one. Cedeno is batting .500 in his last 18 at bats, and he has a 6-game hitting streak in which he's hitting .455 during that streak. When the season began, he was one of the huge question marks for this ball club, whether or not he was going to be able to play shortstop well enough and hit well enough to be a regular, and he has certainly answered those questions. He's done a super job for Houston so far. From the Dominican Republic, fouls one off wickedly into the stands. We have a triple birthday tonight. Grandfather, grandson, and great-grandson. Joe Mullen, who's 77, Fred LeSueur, 17, and Brandon Allman is 9 years old from Kensington. And Joe's a third-generation Philadelphia police officer. So happy birthday to all those guys. I hope you're enjoying the game. It's fouled away into the upper deck behind home plate. And happy anniversary tonight, 18 of them, to Gladys and Mike Kelly from Oceanville, New Jersey. One ball, 2 strikes on Cedeno, who fouls another one into the crowd.
Cedeno, big swing for such a little guy.
Oh, he has a big man swing. I mean, a big man swing for a small guy. Yeah, he's pretty strong though. He'll fool you. But you're right, out of that 8-hole.
I mean, if you just saw him, it was something they probably wanted him to change early on, and now he's having results. You know, it ain't broke.
Well, we just gave those numbers on him, how hot he is. And he's hit safely in 29 of his last 37 games.
Got a couple home runs, 3 home runs, 21 RBIs.
Andujar Cedeno, a player the Astros really like, and another guy they've stayed with the last couple years, and he's starting to bear some fruits of that. 2-2. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Phillies. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Astros. We're in the third. Both teams have had one shot so far to score, and neither able to do it. To Duncan. One away. End of this half inning, we invite you to stay tuned for a profile with Phil's catcher Darren Dalton. Larry Rosen has that coming up. There's Dutch, who is the Phillies leader and Iron Man. And he has a little word there with Greg Swindell. Swindell doesn't know Danny Jackson's ready for him. He's standing there talking. All of a sudden, oops, I better get in here. And when Danny Jackson's staring at you with those eyes, you better get in a box. Fouled away.
The thing about Swindell is that he gets the ball himself, so he doesn't really have to back down from anybody.
Well, Jackson has those. What kind of eyes are they?
Well, I know you're afraid of Jackson. I remember when we had the light on in the prison booth.
Oh, yeah.
5 seconds over the limit, and you were ready to panic.
I was afraid he was going to see it was us. Woo. Hit the center fairly deep, but Dykstra retreats a couple of steps, makes the play. Oh, I really like Danny Jackson. What a makeup he has. This is the kind of guy you want in your ball club.
Well, when you talk about makeup, you can go down there and you can pick anybody. If you want to get a couple of laughs, you can take any one of those personalities there and tune them in for a couple of hours. You put them together and it's great chemistry.
Yeah, you could do a Saturday morning cartoon show on this bunch. Craig Biggio, the batter, he hit a fly ball to Cavilla leading off the game. 2 outs and nobody on base here in the third. Phillies would like to welcome Jeff Richardson from Cinnaminson, New Jersey at the ballpark tonight. He's a long recovery for him from an accident last year that left him badly burned, and we welcome him and send along our best wishes. Hope he's enjoying the ball game. Jeff Richardson from Cinnaminson, New Jersey, making a big comeback. 1 ball and 1 strike now on Biggio. Craig Biggio started his career as a catcher, played some center field for Houston, and now one of the better second basemen in the league.
All this in 4 years.
Well, they felt he was a little small a catch. Not that he couldn't play the position, but to hold up over the course of a season and still contribute offensively. So they decided they'd move him, and it certainly worked out for both Biggio and his ball club.
He's leading off. He has 8 home runs. That's pretty impressive.
Pretty nice out of that one hole. So he's been on the All-Star team the last couple of seasons. Popped up foul. This will also go out of play right side. Nice crowd here tonight. Phillies are now over the 1 million mark, and on the official attendance, but the official 1 millionth fan is Jeffrey Chalfant of Coatesville, Pennsylvania. Won a trip to Miami, compliments of American Airlines and Guest Quarter Suites Hotel. Bill Giles met him at the gate tonight, presented them with some gifts, and they'll be off to Miami. Phillies over the 1 million mark already. This is playable. Mariano Duncan, the call and the play. 3 up and 3 down in the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We're into the bottom of the third inning. No score. Time now for tonight's Phillies profile. Larry Rosen visits with Darren Dalton, who says, "What? Me tired?"
Thank you. I appreciate everybody's warmness. And
Darren Dalton readily admits he is a little bit gassed, but on a rare off night, he still took some time to give something back, appearing at a fundraiser to aid disadvantaged children in getting into college. As to his on-field exhaustion, he says he has more troubles at times when he takes a day off. He would prefer to keep going one day at a time.
At this point, I really don't want to, especially when I have a good stroke. You know, power hitters go through these periods, you know, where they have a good stroke and they're putting up good numbers and driving in runs, and then you're going to go through those periods where you're dry, you know, and of course catching every day, I'm going to be in there, so I like to keep that, you know, if I'm swinging the bat pretty well, I like to stay in there, you know. I really don't think I need a rest, but it's, you know, I'm not the manager, I don't make up the lineup, so it's hard convincing him that, but I think a day off every 2 weeks is probably enough. 2 days, too much.
And the home run leaders in the league, Matt Williams up there with 17, then Barry Bonds, Darren Dalton, you just saw on there with Larry Rosen's feature, and Bobby Bonilla. By the way, Darren Dalton with 146,118 of those things that are being filled out right there, the All-Star ballots, and Benito Santiago in second place, and Darren Dalton will be the starting catcher this year, as he should have been last year. He did make the ball club, as did Kruk. By the way, John Kruk leading in voting among first basemen. Danny Jackson leads it off, then Dykstra at the top of the order, and Mariano Duncan. No score here in the third. There is Kruk. A lot of competition among first basemen in this league. Will Clark behind him in second place.
Yeah, well, you hit 350 and that competition disappear.
Well, you like to think so. The Phillies are drawing so well here at Veterans Stadium that you think a lot of Phillies fans are voting for Kruk and Dalton. That guy should be getting some votes too. There's Jeff Bagwell's having a fine year for Houston. Mark Grace. Andres Galarraga is a guy you look at that might have to be the choice for the Colorado Rockies this year to represent their club. That could knock another guy out that is deserving. So we'll see. Always a lot of controversy come All-Star time. Jackson swings and misses, and Danny Jackson strikes out for the 10th time this year. That is strikeout number 2 for Swindell.
The fastball from Swindell just throws him right by Jackson. We said he can reach back, and he does in that case. The rest of these guys, he'll just try and paint him, get him to try and chase something out of the strike zone.
Dykstra, the batter. Happy birthday tonight to Duke Heidner of Philadelphia, who's 74, and to Mario Giordano and granddaughter Donna Giordano. She's 16. Then he worked the count to 3-1. Then Swindell threw strike 2 to make it 3-2, and then he popped up in the infield. Dykstra has been a very, very hot hitter lately, and has gotten his average up to 276 at game time. Now 274 on the 0-for-1.
You know, and a guy will do something like that. People may say, well, why would he put that much pressure on himself? Well, that's what gets you going sometimes. Guys like to set up those types of goals for themselves and then go out and push themselves to do it. I'm sure that's what Lenny Dykstra did.
See that number against Houston is best against any team in the league, and Houston notoriously a team with good pitching.
Again, if you want to talk about, you say, well, he said he's going to go from 260 to 300 by the end of the month. That's a very difficult thing to do. He got 4 hits yesterday, and his average only went up, maybe 10 points. So as you start to approach 300, it gets harder and harder to accomplish.
He had 4 straight hits in the game yesterday, then went 0 for 2 in his last 2 at-bats. He's always been a good June hitter, though. 319 career average in the month of June. Best for any month for Lenny Dykstra. Count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Dykstra, with 1 out and nobody on base, and Mariano Duncan on deck. Greg Swindell and Danny Jackson, 2 Texas-born left-handers at each other tonight.
Both are painting that outside corner, especially the right-handed hitters. They're throwing that ball out there, daring them to hit the ball the other way.
Breaking ball in the dirt, and Dykstra runs his second straight 3-ball, 2-strike count. And Swindell, one of the toughest in baseball to draw a walk against.
That means he's going to come right after him in this case with the fastball and let him, get the swing in.
There it is, the old number 1. Look out, right over our heads into the upper deck. There's the way Lenny Dykstra's been steadily getting that batting average up. And he started to get the average up when he started to hit the ball the other way. That's the thing we talked about early in the season, that he was pulling everything, hitting a lot of ground balls to second. Now you'll see Lenny getting those base hits to left and left center.
Well, what we talked about, and the reason why his numbers are still as impressive as they are, is, hey, when he got on base, he was willing to take a walk, steal a base, do whatever he could to score a run for this ball club, and did a good job even though he was struggling. Now it makes it a lot better for the team when he's doing what he does best, and that is hitting the ball in the gap.
Tied in the league leading doubles with 17. He has 37 walks. Base hit, center field. Bass is going to have to hustle to cut it off. He does. And Dykstra will stay at first base with a single. So Lenny is 1 for 2. And that is hit number 4 in the ball game for the Phillies.
We mentioned Greg Swindell will challenge the hitter, especially at 3-2. You know what you're getting, a fastball, and it's up to you to put the ball in play for a hit. Lenny Dykstra, line drive back up the middle, just like John Kruk on his 3-2 pitch. Not try to pull it, do too much with it, but right back up the middle.
Duncan, who hasn't been feeling well lately, is 9 for 17 in his last 6 games. No kidding him about that. He may as well just stay feeling this way.
Well, Swindell worked him with good hard fastballs away.
Struck him out.
At bat, yeah, he had trouble reaching right there.
Right on that outside corner. Dykstra on at first base. He's stolen 13 bases in 17 attempts. Swindell is a 1-3 to 1-4 guy at home plate, which is pretty slow, so you can run on him if you guess right. But he has a pretty good step-off move over to first that they have to watch out for. See that high leg kick that he has, and that's why he's a 1-3, 1-4.
You see that pitch right there? That was a purpose pitch, a hard slider down and in. To keep that in Duncan's mind, and then he's going to try. We know when he wants to get him out, he's going fastball away. But he shows him that hard slider inside so that he won't be diving out there trying to reach it.
There's his regular move over there. He just has a very fair move to first base. His step-off move is more effective for him.
You know, as a base runner, though, you have a tendency to give a left-hander more respect because he's looking right at you.
1 ball and 1 strike on Duncan. Fouled away right side into the upper deck. Dykstra's not really picking up Swindell real well.
And see, for a left-hander, you don't really have to have a good throw over to first base. You just have to be able to decoy the runner with some type of a movement or something to get the runner to think you're coming over there. And that's what he's done to Lenny Dykstra the whole time. And you mentioned guess right on when you want to steal. And a lot of times coaches will just tell you, hey, go on this pitch. Hope the timing is right.
He does not go, and Duncan beats a breaking ball foul to Larry Boa.
We're going to get a shot at Lenny over at first base, and you'll see what his first move is. It's just back towards first base.
That's called a one-way lead right there, and that's what he's getting. See, Lenny just cannot pick up Swindell well enough to feel confident to run, at least at this point.
Well, we know he has one foot on the AstroTurf when he's thinking running, and he doesn't have it there now.
Swindell moves over there. I'd like to send get well wishes along tonight to Tom O'Malley at Chester Crozier Medical Center. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Mariano Duncan with 1 out, and Dykstra with a little longer lead. He does not go. In fact, he broke back again, and the count's 2-2 to Duncan.
You know, that's bad base running from the standpoint that why not get closer to first base so that you can at least make sure you're going in the direction of second base when the pitch is being released. To be going back, you know, it just hurts your chances of getting there on a close play. You just shorten your lead and then just gradually walk off so that you can be assured of not getting picked off.
And here Mel Roberts yelled back then, and Lenny Dykstra is back.
Yeah, if you got to wait for the coach to yell back, you're in big trouble.
Well, Mel's just covered himself.
Yeah, well, you're going to yell that anyway. You're definitely going to yell just out of reflex, but as a base runner, you better know what's going on.
I remember that one year that John Vukovich was coaching first base for the Phillies, and Von Hayes kept getting picked off, and the crowd kept yelling at Vuk. There he is, as if it was his fault. And of course it was.
We'll ask Vaughn when he comes for this game.
Yeah, whose fault it was. There he goes. Base hit, right center field. Cut off by Anthony. Here comes Dykstra to third. Bo is waving him around. The throw comes into the infield to the plate. Dykstra is out at home plate. Duncan moves up to second base. Boa took a shot. He thought the throw was going to overthrow the cutoff man. Cedeno got in the middle of the diamond and threw him out.
Well, he did overthrow the initial cutoff man, and that's why you have a trailer. It's called a trailer. The guy behind the cutoff man. You see a good piece of hitting by Duncan. He goes the other way. Lenny sees right there that he's going to get it's a base hit, and he's headed for third base. He's getting himself under control. Now he picks up Larry Boa, who's signaling, come on hard in case there is an overthrow. He sees the ball in the air and determines, hey, I'm going to send it.
And Cedeno makes a terrific throw here, too. Service blocks the plate, and Dykstra has nothing to slide at. Second on the throw for Mariano Duncan. That was not a double. Here we go again with Cedeno's strong.
Well, Cedeno, he did make a nice throw to get it there, a little low, but a good play by Service to stay out there and keep the path to home plate blocked and make Dykstra go around him.
And the reason Boa thought he had a chance to send him too is he was running on the play. And Kruk is 1 for 1. Duncan at second base. There are 2 outs.
That's a play you work on in spring training quite a bit, and I'd like to talk about it. Okay, when the ball is hit that way and the outfielder is thinking about keeping the runner at first base, he will throw the ball into second base. If you're the guy that took off in that situation, you run hard in case that ball is bobbled at second base or he short hops it. That time the throw went over the second baseman's head, but good for Cedeno and the Astros. He was backing up and was able to make a throw on the home.
This is what that trailer you were talking about.
Right.
No balls and a strike to Kruk, and it is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. A lot of action on the bases so far. Phillies haven't been able to score a run yet. They've had quite a few base runners. Larry Boa is a very, very aggressive third base coach, and hard to fault him on that play. There's Duncan on at second base. As we mentioned, that was a single second on the throw.
Well, it's easy to second guess, you know, but I think if you go with Larry the whole year, you're going to come out on top.
Especially on that kind of play. Swindell off his hand and now throws the first. Well, he almost messed that play up, but he was able to get Kruk, so the Phillies do not score here in the third inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. No score through 3.
It's a round world, genuine and true. It keeps on spinning and you always come through, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud, Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
Suppose you wanted to make a chair as stable as can be. Where would you put the legs? Right at the corners. right? Now, suppose you wanted to make a car as stable as can be. Where would you put the wheels? Right. That's why the new Intrepid is so remarkably stable. The wheels are pushed out toward the corners. The further we pushed, the more stable and sure-footed it became. Intrepid. This changes everything.
For the first time ever, the expansion Florida Marlins come to the Vet Thursday, June 17th and Friday, June 18th. Then the Upper Deck Heroes play Saturday, June 19th before the Marlins game. And it's a free vintage 1933 baseball cap for all men, Sunday, June 20th at 1:35. Order your tickets in advance. Call 463-1000.
Hey, the fireworks are coming up, and there will be 2 of them again this year on Friday, July the 2nd. Don't forget that's a makeup doubleheader with the Padres beginning at 4:35. Fireworks will follow, and then the next night, 7:05 game. That's July the 3rd. Call 463-1000. Both nights are compliments of Mellon PSFS, and you know how spectacular those fireworks shows are every year. Hope to see you out here.
Boy, you talk about some big crowds opening day and last Sunday.
Last few years, Philly's been drawing those big crowds for the fireworks.
Yeah, it'll be big that night, too.
Oh, it'll be extra big now.
Chris, I want to wish a happy 13th birthday to a friend of a friend, a son of a friend. Michael Billett is 13 today, and his father, Van, and I play a lot of golf together. He beats me consistently, but that's not any news to anybody.
You are kind of a walking charity, aren't you?
But happy 13th birthday, Michael. I understand he listens to every ball game.
Well, if he's watching this tonight, he's probably enjoying it. It's a good one. Ground ball to short by Bass. Millette was playing very deep and throws him out, 1 away.
Kevin Bass still gets down that line pretty good. Ooh, there's that slider right inside. Millette, we know, is sure-handed, makes a nice play. Puts his nose right down in that glove. Comes up firing.
Here's Bagwell, who grounded to second his first time up. Bagwell batting at .340, up among the league leaders in a lot of categories, including RBIs and batting average. And Jackson misses outside for ball 1. No runs, 5 hits, and no errors for the Phillies. No runs, 2 hits. Both of them coming in the second inning, and no errors. Top of the 4th.
Seeing carbon copy with Jackson out there on the mound and Swindell. They're both featuring that fastball on the outside part of the plate. The difference, Jackson throwing a hard slider in. Swindell with a big swooping curveball that he throws.
And Swindell with 2 more changeups, probably, yeah.
That's probably the difference.
2 balls and no strikes to Bagwell. Fouled away. Bagwell is really quick.
We mentioned Swindell's changeup. They're the batting leaders in the National League at this point. Merced at .377, Barry Bonds, and there's John Kruk and Bagwell. You know, it's really something when you see the Houston Astros in those offensive categories. Just not accustomed to seeing that in that ballpark they play in.
There he goes, inside out and down the line. That's a typical Jeff Bagwell hit into the corner, and Chamberlain will dig it out, and Bagwell will have a double, his 15th of the year. He really works that ball into the opposite field.
We just saw that from another guy, Colorado. Galarraga likes to hit the ball in from the middle of the plate. They like to hit the ball the other way. You'll see that ball's inside a little bit, and he just goes inside out with it. Don't risk getting jammed and put the ball in play hard that way.
That's why you try and pitch him away for the most part. So Bagwell on at second base with 1 out for Eric Anthony, who singled to center his first time up. And happy 45th wedding anniversary along tonight to Gabe and Ann Planamento in Fallcroft, Pennsylvania. Gabe and Ann, the parents of Dave Planamento from the ground crew, and that comes from Dave, Patty, and Craig. Dave can help you with your golf game. Anybody can. 1 ball and no strikes now to Anthony. Just missed outside, 2-0. Danny Jackson right now at 50 pitches. We had a 2-for-1 ratio. (2-0) to Eric Anthony with Caminetti on deck. Fouled away left side into the upper deck. Real nice night here at Veterans Stadium. Very pleasant evening. Good crowd on hand. Phillies now over the 1 million mark. We'll get the official attendance total later. First time the Phillies have been over the 1 million mark this early in the season since 1981.
The strike year.
Strike year, right. Tribute to the fans here, the way they've been coming out to see this ball club. Duncan will get it on one big hop and throw him out. 2 down. Anthony really ran that ball out. That's a good thing to see if you're a Houston Astros fan. He really hustled it. And over to third goes Bagwell. 2 down. That may not seem like much, but a lot of players have trouble running out those routine grounders.
Well, that's the thing about having a young ball club. Everybody's hungry. Everybody knows that they're under the microscope, so they will do those things.
Caminetti is switch hitter. He hit that humpback liner through the middle that Danny Jackson almost caught. He'll pitch from the full windup, and it's down low for ball 1. We'll be back at you Wednesday night with Jeff Bagwell and these Houston Astros. Larry Rosen's pregame at 7, and then the ball game at 7:30. Pete Harnish against Terry Mulholland will be the matchup. Low. The on-deck batter is a left-handed batter, Gonzalez. He's now behind Caminetti 2-0, and they might pitch Caminetti carefully with Bagwell on at third and 2 outs. Ken Caminetti, who broke into the major leagues against the Phillies right after the All-Star break a number of years ago, and was player of the week in just 4 games as he tore the Phillies apart in that 4-game series at the Dome. And Jackson misses high, 3-0.
The left-hander Gonzalez on deck, so they're being very careful with Caminetti, who is hot right now.
And Gonzalez, a strikeout victim, his first time up. 3 balls and no strikes, and they just pitched around him. Once he got behind him, he wasn't going to give him anything to hit. That's walk number 1, issued by Danny Jackson, and Gonzalez the batter. Tampa, Florida, where Gonzalez hails from, is really a hotbed for major league players. You think about Sheffield and Gooden and McGriff. Tino Martinez, who's with Seattle. Fouled away left side, out of play.
Howard Johnson, isn't he from that area
From
down
Clearwater.
there? Yeah, that's close enough.
Close enough, yeah. It's one of our favorite places.
Really?
I know you like it there.
I used to get my 10 days to 2 weeks in there every spring.
Pretty hard not to like it down in Clearwater.
You liked it well enough to buy a place that you're renting out now.
Yeah, oh yeah, I like it down there. I'm a Pinellas County taxpayer.
Unless you're 3 homes up here that you're renting out.
No balls at 1 strike.
You and Donald Trump.
Fouled away, I wish.
We're going to call you the Wheels.
It's overrated being a land baron, I'll tell you.
It's only bad when you're trying to sell them.
Whew. Tell me about it. No balls and 2 strikes now to Gonzalez. So Danny Jackson has him where he wants him. If he can make a good pitch to him. I want to get my realtor's name out right now. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Oh, was that close? Gonzalez got rung up on a real close pitch last time. This time he gets it.
Well, look where Darren Dalton is sitting there. He's asking for it out, way out there. And what happens is Jackson hits his glove pretty accurately. Just gets a corner of the plate, I think.
I think that might have been a strike.
Oh, yeah, right.
Gonzalez thought the other one was low his first time up. He might have had a point, so they're even. 1 and 2. And they're going to go back outside again. Ooh. Jammed him with a good pitch. Kruk is going to need Jackson. He's there. And Danny, good athlete. Ooh, almost ran over the bag, but he got it. That'll do it in the 4th inning. Good ball game here tonight. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 left. Watch this footwork. Whoa!
From 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue to right here in Pennsylvania, people are searching for new choices in healthcare.
The costs are strangling me.
Which inspired Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield to create the new personal choice.
Seems like you always have to give something up.
A health plan that gives people the benefits of an HMO.
No one has the right to tell me what doctor I can see.
Without asking them to give up their freedom. Personal choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
Ford dealers know some problems can't be diagnosed in the shop, so they have a unique traveling companion, the Portable Vehicle Analyzer. It records engine data in ways no human eyes and ears can. Then it tells us what's wrong, so it can be serviced right the first time. Quality care, where the quality continues.
With 5 of the top 10 selling cars and trucks in America, quality care and service can only be found at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
Yo, Phillies fans, here's the pitch. You, the Phillies, San Diego. It's the Jiffy Lube Coca-Cola Phillies road trip. Go to Jiffy Lube and you could win an all-expense-paid trip for 4 to the Phillies-Padres game in sunny San Diego. Round-trip airfare, deluxe hotel accommodations, and meals are all included. But hey, you can't win if you don't enter at any participating Jiffy Lube before June 30th.
Well, tomorrow night on Sports Channel, Kent Coley and Andy Musser will bring you the Phils and the Astros, and we'll be back on Wednesday night on Prism, and then on Thursday we'll be up at Shea Stadium in New York for the first time on PHL 17, the Phillies and the New York Mets.
So we fourth inning, right?
We got that home plate, that first base camera down there. It's about the time you usually come on camera.
Yeah, all right, I hear you guys.
Gary's doing the whole game with us tonight. Jay Johnstone's on another assignment. Lined into left, sinking fast, but coming on is Gonzalez to make the play. One away. That was a changeup. It looked like Hollins hit it off the end of the bat a little bit.
It got him out front. I mean, he was right there. His hands were back and everything. He just, when he swung the bat, it was a little bit out in front. That ball wasn't close to being hit very hard. So the key is he keeps his hands back and he's right on it, but just cuts underneath it a little bit, hits it off the end of the bat.
Darren Dalton lined a double into the right field corner his first time up.
So they'll try and keep that ball away from Darren now, I think.
Correct. No balls and 1 strike on Dalton. On deck is Incavillo, also has a base hit in the game. Phillies have out hit the Astros 5-3. There's no score in the 4th. David Kunizak, Sr. sent us a note here. His son David is celebrating a birthday tonight in Telford, Pennsylvania. They watch every game on Prism, so happy birthday, David. You're enjoying the game. And belated birthday wishes to John Haas from Gilbertsville. Dalton to deep left field. Back goes Gonzalez. Still going back. Fair or foul. It is a foul ball. That ball just kept drifting and drifting. Home run range and finally went foul.
We're talking about the difference between a veteran hitter and a young ball player just coming along. Darren Dalton knows they want to stay away from him now. Looks for it out there, and I mean, crushes it.
Oof, was that close?
Well, we've seen a couple hit the screen this year. That one just makes it foul.
Yep, that was well past the pole and was fading away. Dalton almost got himself a screen home run.
You know, those power hitters, what they say is, yeah, I hit 30 home runs, or I hit 35, but I hit another 5 or 6 foul. So they like the
opposite field.
Yeah.
Look at that production.
50 RBIs. They said he's reached 50 quicker than Mike Schmidt ever did.
And you know, Darren had a weekend that he did not consider too successful. Really, he had a lot of men left on base as he did on Friday. Yesterday, he did pick up 3 RBIs with a triple, but he could have gotten a lot more.
Darren's hot. He's talking about being an Iron Man, and a big part of that is mental. You know, you get mentally fatigued and you start to do things without even thinking about them. And that's going to be the key to how many days off he gets. How focused he can stay on what he has to do at the plate.
He doesn't get to play too much, does he?
Yeah.
Todd Pratt. 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
The Iron Man's backup. That's a bad thing to be, isn't it? It's the paper man.
3 balls and 2 strikes now to Darren Dalton. Swindell's run a couple 3-2 counts tonight. He's yet to walk about it. Not unusual for this left-hander with a good control. Lined right at the second baseman, Biggio. That looked like a 3-2 breaking ball.
It sure was. That's out of respect for Darren Dalton. We've seen him come Kruk and Dykstra fastball. He challenged him. This time with Dalton, you know, he takes a chance of throwing a 3-2 slider. How about Dalton reaching down and whacking that thing? Oh, man, that's a good piece of hitting. There's no way, you know, you can be looking breaking ball in that situation. So that's pure reflex.
And Biggio playing him deep with one out and nobody on base was able to catch that ball. If he was playing up in any normal position, Darren Dalton would have had a base hit. Here is Incaviglia. Pete pops it up down the line. It is possibly playable. Cut play Bagwell. Oh,
man,
is that a good play?
That's a real fine play.
Just talking about what a fine first baseman he is, and he showed it again. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. The former third baseman now playing first.
May I help you, sir?
Yeah, I'll have a Coca-Cola.
You sure you want a Coke?
Yeah, I want a Coke.
Okay, pal.
Why did you order a Coke? It tastes good. Didn't care if it was a Coke. You just want I'll just have a cola. I'll just have a cola. I'll just have a cola.
Need a drink, sir?
I'll just have a...
You'll just have a...
I'll just have a Coke.
Ooh.
Here, that guy's a Coca-Cola. See ya, pal. Oh.
When this whole world starts getting me down and people are just too much for me to face, all of the only place I know.
New Club World. Let all your cares drift right into space.
Make it so.
British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
This is your world, genuine and true, working together in all that you do, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud, Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
Phillies baseball day camps are coming to a location near you, 12 of them, in fact, for boys and girls 7 to 14 years of age. And you get to enjoy a day of fun right here at Veterans Stadium. Just call that number on your screen, 642-8585. That's 642-8585 for Phillies baseball day camps. Scott Service, Andujar, Cedeno, Greg Swindell, 7, 8, 9 hitters in Art Howell's lineup to face left-hander Danny Jackson, who starts him with strike one. Service struck out into a double play his first time up.
Let me ask you a question, Chris. With runners on first and second, do you send them with Service hitting?
You said not to.
All right.
They sent him, and it was a strikeout double play.
We can learn from that.
First time they sent him, he fouled it off. Second time, he swung through the pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike now on Scott Service. Danny Jackson against Greg Swindell.
You see Danny Jackson, hey, if he can't hit it, I'm going to keep throwing it there.
There's Art Howell looking on.
Oh, Art's a good baseball, man. And you know why I like the Houston Astros for sticking with Art, giving him a chance to mold these young players. They gave him that assignment. He's done a great job with it.
Sure has. He's done a good job with this young team he has. Fouled out of play.
I'll tell you what helps is when the ownership of the team changes hands and they double the payroll. That'll help to improve your team.
Well, it helps a lot when you're sitting there one year and you don't have Greg Swindell and Doug Draybeck, and the next year you do. He was on that 80 team that you guys played to a standstill in Houston.
Man, extra innings on top of extra innings.
In fact, as he beats it foul, does Service, he hit a double. He hit that double in the 6th inning. There's Bob Watson again, the general manager, that put Houston up 5-2 for Nolan Ryan. That was in the 7th inning. And Nolan Ryan had a 5-2 lead in the 8th inning.
There's Bob there. Bob, you know what he told me? I had a chance to talk with him before the game, that the Houston Astros drafted 80 players.
Off the end of the bat, broken bat to Duncan. Long way to go for it, and he got him. Nice play, Mariano Duncan.
You know, there was compensation involved when you sign a guy like Draybeck and you sign a guy like Swindell. So they did not get a choice, I think, until like the 12th round or something. You see the ball being hit the other way, which is what you have to do with Danny Jackson, but Duncan over to make a nice play.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they lost their number 1 in compensation, sure.
Right, and it was interesting strategy in that they drafted 80 with the intention of signing maybe 30. What they do is once you draft a player, you have rights to him for a year. So you give them a chance to go out and play junior college or some type of college ball, and if they turn out to be good players, you try and sign them before that year is up. I asked him if that was a common practice. He said not all teams are doing that.
Tell you what, you put a man on second base with 2 outs and put a bat in Bob Watson's hands, and he'd get him home most of the time. What a great RBI man he was.
And if you're playing center field, you better be shading him towards that gap, because that's where he's going to hit. And we had an interesting conversation. We're talking to Chris James, a former Philly here. He said Chris James has hit 2 home runs the other way. I said, yeah, that's where you used to live. He said, yeah, he's been on my street lately. Bob Watson, a fine ball player.
Cedeno swings and misses. He hit a ground ball to second his first time up. Have birthday wishes tonight to Nick Stampone from Tacony, 66 years of age. There is Chris James, a Texas native. He grew up right near Houston. That's Casey Candell next to him.
He said, Gary, is there anything you can help me with as far as my defense? He said, I'm hitting the ball good, but I had to play the other day with 2 runners on. I came in, charged a ground ball, and it went right under my glove. I said, see, you should have been paying attention those days when we used to work on that.
Hard shot on 1 hop to Hollins, and Dave throws him out. And 2 up and 2 down, and a couple of ground balls here in the 5th inning, and Swindell will bat with 2 outs.
But it was nice talking to CJ, and it's interesting how a major league player can lose his confidence. You know, I mean, you think these are the best players, and they are the best players in the world, and can go out there and lose their confidence just like anyone else.
Oh boy, when players start to lose confidence in this game, look out. It's so mental. Jim Fregosi, I mean, you can't go through a day you don't talk to Jim Fregosi and he doesn't use the word confidence when he starts talking about players. Or he'll say lack of confidence. There he is. He is a firm believer in that, having been such a terrific player himself, and he knows what it's like to feel good and what it's like when you're not feeling so hot. Millette playing deep again, charges it, throws on the run, and got Swindell. So the whole infield participated there. 3 ground balls, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We're into the bottom of the 5th. Still scoreless.
Aerostar is twice the value at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
No other truck is built for tough.
For a limited time, get a double bonus discount on Aerostar. That means savings of $1,900 plus $1,000 cash back on the ideal family vacation wagon.
It'll set you free.
V6 power is standard, 7-passenger seating and more towing capacity than a Dodge Caravan. Plus a double discount and $1,000 cash back now in a 93 Aerostar.
You better hit the ground running in a new Ford truck. Hey, hey.
This is $20,000. This is also $20,000. You'd take care of this, wouldn't you? You should take care of your car just as carefully. Bring it to Jiffy Lube, the only place with the experience of servicing 68 million cars. Considering that your car is worth thousands of dollars, experience counts.
We got experience at Jiffy Lube.
I remember last year, honey, when we were moving.
Right.
Well, she called us and said if we put both our new house and car policies with her, we would save money.
Well, we have so many choices at Nationwide, and my job is to make you aware of your options.
She's always there with an answer.
That's the way we're trained, to be very knowledgeable and to be there when people really need you the most. And that's important.
Agents like Margaret are Nationwide.
Nationwide is on your side.
By Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side. Your Nationwide agent in Roslyn is Leroy Funk.
Business person specials, they're really popular. We have 5 of them for you this year. The next one's coming up on Wednesday, June the 23rd, when the Atlanta Braves are here. That game will begin at 12:35, so why don't you start thinking about your excuses right now. For tickets, call 463-1000. Stop by the Center City Ticket Office at Mellon, PSFS, Broad, and Chestnut Streets. Wes Chamberlain, Joe Millette, and Danny Jackson, the 7-8-9 for the Phillies here in the 5th.
I like those business person special, work in the daytime. I have a friend that I bring out.
That's right. We're going to televise all of them this year on Prism. All 5 of them. Done 1 so far. Wes hit a ground ball to first his first time up. Bagwell stepped on the bag through to second. in a controversial double play when Incaviglia was called out. He was safe, and Dalton had to remain at third. The Phillies lost a real good scoring chance. They've also had a runner thrown out at the plate in this game.
And the Astros have had their chances as well, and you find it's really ironic that two of the better teams in baseball are having trouble producing you know, what should have been a couple of easy runs.
Well, you're dealing with the Astros with a 3.36 team ERA coming into the game. The Phillies with a 3.39, 1-2 in the league.
Ah, yeah, all the more reason that you better capitalize on every opportunity you get.
The count to West is 1-2. Birthday wishes tonight to Anna Surian from Scranton, PA. West fouls it. Well, here's a message that you know just had to come from Froggy from the ground crew. The Mitchell brothers from Avalon, New Jersey are in attendance, and they send their regards to all the bartenders down the shore. They're friends of Froggy. Yeah, no kidding.
I thought Froggy had settled down.
He's a married man now. 1 ball, 2 strikes to West. Fights another ball off right side.
That's another ball he's fought off that way. But the difference is that ball was way inside. He chose to try and hit it that way, and then the ball away he's hitting that way. So West is the type of guy that in this situation you throw him a breaking ball, he might hit it up in the upper deck. You come in, you better be hard. Here's that breaking ball. See ya. Oops.
Got it off the end of the battle all the center.
Having a little fun. Boy, you know, he got that ball up in the strike zone a little bit.
If you hit the way you announce, you would have really been something.
You see the ball up in the strike zone there. West sitting there. You can tell he's been looking to hit the fastball the other way. He gets a breaking ball just a little bit out in front of him.
Joe Millette, the batter, hit a fly ball to left field his first time up. Change-up swings and misses. 0-1. Jackson waits on deck. 8 hits in the ball game. 5 by the Phils, 3 by the Astros, and no score.
Change up there to Millette. Man, that was a nasty pitch. He's got the guy just get up, get a chance to play, and the guy's got to face Greg Swindell.
There's Chamberlain. Gary told him that curveball was coming. Swindell has great arm motion with that changeup of his. I mean, when his arm comes through, there's no way a hitter can tell any difference between that and the other pitches when it leaves his hand.
See number 21 there makes me think of Greg Gross, who I happen to run in today. Run into.
On the fifth, Scott Service, 2 outs.
Gigi's coaching at Devon Prep, right? Or is it not
Malvern?
Malvern Prep.
Yeah.
This right here is fastball. Just kind of eats Millette up. Service right there. I thought he didn't see it at first.
He just spread the wings.
Yeah, but I, talked to Greg Gross, coaching high school baseball. Bill Robinson, coaching high school baseball. Those guys, in my opinion, belong in the big leagues. Very knowledgeable and very good baseball people.
Another high school baseball coach got a big league job this year. Greg Luzinski is out at Oakland. Swing and a miss by Danny Jackson, 1-1.
When I get my team, they're going to have jobs for those guys when I buy my club.
Is that right? Can't wait to get that shot of you in the owner's box. Watching you tearing up papers, throwing them around.
Oh, no way.
1-2.
All I'm going to be checking is the bottom line, Chief.
That's what you'll be throwing out the window. That's what those papers will be.
Yeah, that's what.
Find out about ownership. Strike 3 called. Struck him out looking. Danny Jackson down on strikes for the second time tonight, and Greg Swindell has a perfect inning and his 3rd strikeout. No score.
This is your world, genuine and true, working together in all that you do, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
It's often taken for granted, yet it's as precious as the very air we breathe. And it's what inspired Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield to create the new Personal Choice, a health plan that offers people the low costs of an HMO without asking them to give up what they value most, their freedom. Personal Choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
Mark your calendar and clear your schedule. The Phillies play the pitching powerful Atlanta Braves Monday, June 21st and Tuesday, June 22nd, both at 7:35, followed by an always popular business person special Wednesday afternoon, June 23rd at 12:35. Reserve your tickets by phone. Call 463-1000.
Hey, Phillies fans, bring 4 Leaf candy wrappers and the completed offer certificate to the Phillies ticket office and receive a 600-level reserve ticket to any Phillies home game in July. Leaf candy brands include Milk Duds, Jolly Rancher Candies, Payday, Heat Bar, and Rainbow Gum. Look for details at Veterans Stadium wherever Leaf candies are sold. Tickets subject to availability, void where prohibited.
We got some guys doing some nice somersaults out here, but if Danny Jackson gives them the stare, that's going to be the end of it.
They better hurry up. This will give us a chance as we're watching the end of this to tell you that before the game tonight, Kurt Schilling and Mariano Duncan were presented with Ironman Awards from the ALS Association. The award is named after Lou Gehrig, the Iron Man of baseball. Phillies very, very active in that charity, and it recognizes their contributions to ALS this season. Kurt Schilling's donating money for each win, strikeout, shutout, star of the game appearance. There's Schill. And Duncan is donating money for every single, double, triple, home run, and RBI to ALS. So congratulations to those two guys, and thanks to them for their fine charity work.
It's amazing to me that, you know, what every player on the team is involved in charity in some way or the other. I think it comes down from Bill Giles. That's the way he is in the city of Philadelphia. Just whatever he can do to help the city, and the ball players are following in that same path.
Danny Jackson is not pleased right now as he stands and waits while they get those mats behind home plate. Now he's ready to go. Top of the 6th inning, Craig Biggio, Kevin Bass, Jeff Bagwell, 3 Bs leading it off.
Probably would have been a good idea maybe to let him stay in the dugout a little while longer before he went out there, but you know, he just struck out looking, so not good timing
at all. 1-0. It's outside. 2-0. Biggio tonight has hit a fly ball to left and popped to second.
Man. You get used to it though, Chris. You get used to those interruptions. I think back, there's a strike right. Strike there. I think back to when the Philly Fanatic first came on the scene. Everybody was ready to throw him somewhere out of the stadium, but kind of got used to it. It's all part of the game. I mean, we have the big screens out in the outfield now and everything. It's just changing.
Sean, who were those guys? What's that? Where's that release? Here, we'll say who they were. They were performing with the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus, appearing at the Spectrum through Sunday, June the 13th. Those were the Chicago Kids, members of the Jesse White tumbling troupe.
Yeah, maybe they'll give Danny Jackson some tickets. I know I'm going over Sunday. You guys are out of town. Huh?
Yeah, we're in New York. We're in our own circus. 3-2. Fly ball to right field. Chamberlain is right there. West waits. 1 away. Well, we go up to Manhattan. That's a circus in itself. Here's Danny Jackson's pitches thus far into the 6th inning. It's still a good ratio for him.
Danny Jackson fell behind 2-0 and came back and battled. We're relieved of that.
Yeah.
Kevin Bass coming up to bat right now. One of the bench players. I mean, the Astros, just like the Phillies, had to go out and get a bench. You cannot win if you cannot spell your starters every now and then. I think now with the addition of Chris James, Kevin Bass, they can go out and relieve some of their starters, and the guys can stay fresh for the whole year.
It was part of your point about the money that the Astros organization spent to bring in these kind of players. That ball is hit to deep center field. Dykstra going back. It's gone. It's a home run for Kevin Bass. His first home run of the year. They're playing Bass for Finley tonight, And Jackson got that ball up in the strike zone. He jumped all over it.
Yeah, well, Fregosi knows how that is because he's thrown some guys out there for other guys, and they've come up big. P.D. Convillia comes to mind immediately. But Kevin Bass here, Danny Jackson has been outside consistently with his fastball, comes in right there, and Bass gets ahead of the bat through the strike zone, and he hit that to the deep part of the ballpark.
You don't expect that from Kevin Bass, that's for sure.
Well, credit Danny Jackson with a lot of velocity and putting that in a position where all Bass had to do was get the head of the bat through.
So the Houston Astros draw first blood and lead it. Bagwell fouls it out of play. Bass has just hit his first home run of the year, as we said. Last year he hit a total of 9 of them. With San Francisco he hit 7. With the Mets he hit 2. This is his second tour of duty with the Astros.
Right, he was an all-star as an Houston Astro as well.
Came over in a trade for Don Sutton from the Milwaukee organization. Jeff Bagwell, the batter, and if you wonder about Bagwell, how they got him for Larry Anderson. Larry Anderson was traded to the Boston Red Sox at the end of the season when the Red Sox were going for the pennant, and they got this young player who was a third baseman at the time. They made him a first baseman. He's blossomed into a star. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jeff Bagwell, a native of New England. Bagwell has grounded out and doubled. 1-0 Houston in the 6th. That was their 4th hit off Jackson. Jackson still throwing hard. Danny Jackson is a guy who doesn't give up a lot of home run balls.
And he doesn't, Chris, for the simple reason that he likes to keep the ball away, and it tells it away from the right-hand hitters. And the ball to Bass was definitely a mistake.
Given up 5 all year as that ball's fouled out of play right side. A lot of hitters going with this open stance nowadays. Bagwell, one of them.
Well, when your stance is open like that, you know, you end up stepping towards a pitcher. You know, if your stance is straight away, guys have a tendency to step towards third base, which can make you pull off the ball. This way, you start out open and you step towards the pitcher.
Struck him out. Good pitch by Jackson, down, and Bagwell chases it. Strikeout number 3 for Danny, his first since the 2nd inning.
Well, a guy you want to try and pitch inside is a guy that stepped towards a pitcher. You hope that while he's stepping towards a pitcher, you'll throw the ball inside and he'll step and swing over it, as he did in that case.
Eric Anthony 1 for 2 tonight. You see his average now at 287. Fly ball left field, fairly deep, but Convillia has it lined up in front of the warning track, runs it down, and that'll do it here in the 6th inning. The Astros a run on 1 hit. Bass's home run, no errors, and nobody left on base. 1-0 Houston, bottom of the 6th coming up. Now time for Minding the Minors. Tonight, Larry Rosen visits the veteran minor league manager, now in Clearwater, Bill Dancy.
42-year-old Bill Dancy has been managing in the Phillies minor league farm system since 1979. He's managed at every level and has taken his team to the postseason playoffs 6 times. Now he's back at A-ball in Clearwater, Florida, with younger players who often are tasting failure for the first time.
Well, I think the biggest thing is we stay positive with them. The best thing about, you know, being down here in Florida and Clearwater is you don't have to worry about much rain. We're over at Jack Russell, where if it is raining, we can use the cages. If it's a guy that's, you know, doesn't have confidence in his fielding, we'll bring him out one-on-one and extra work with them in their fielding. The same thing with their hitting. You know, we're trying to build confidence in the player to make him a winning-type ball player where he can go up the ladder. I think a player that, you know, has been successful through all his high school, all his college, and all of a sudden comes into pro ball and finally starts to see what failure can be like, the quicker we can get him out of that attitude, the better off we're going to be and the better off he's going to be.
Well, the Hooters are back on the music scene, and Prism welcomes back these perennial Philly favorites on Tuesday night in the music special, The Hooters Out of Body. It's a look at the Hooters' new album and new sound Tuesday night at 9:30 exclusively on Prism. Only place to be for the summer of '93. And Wednesday night we're back on Prism Phillies and the Astros. Larry Rosen at 7 o'clock with the pregame. And then at 7:30, the Phillies and the Astros. Pete Harnisch will be on the mound for Houston, and on the mound for the Phillies will be Terry Mulholland. Lenny Dykstra leads it off. Phil's at the top of their order. Had a 8-inning scoreless game here on Friday night that Colorado won in the 9th inning. Houston has just broken on top 1-0 here in the 6th behind Greg Swindell, who has never given up a run in this ballpark. In his 3rd start, he had 2 complete game shutouts here last year. Dykstra fouls it away. Phillies have had a couple of good scoring opportunities in this ball game, but haven't been able to do anything as of yet. And there's the outfielders voting. Lenny Dykstra currently in 4th place. 3 very deserving players. And the count 0-2 on Lenny. He has singled and popped up. And then was thrown out at the plate on the ball Duncan hit to right center when he tried to score from first. Swindell misses low with a breaking ball, 1-2. Home plate umpire Jerry Davis will toss out a new baseball and give it to Service to toss out. Dykstra's batted safely now in 12 out of his last 15 games at about a .385 clip. Fouled away again. Lenny waiting much better on the ball now than he was early in the season.
So what's so hard for a left-handed batter against a left-handed pitcher is to keep that shoulder in there. That's why, you know, Lenny wants to go the other way, but with the left-handed pitcher stepping right towards the left-handed batter, he has a tendency to freeze, and then that ball that's away from him, they end up reaching for it and not quite getting there. Just like that.
And when you're swinging well, though, sometimes you can take those pitches, as he did there. He's 7 for 14 lifetime now off Swindell.
You know, I remember talking to Danny Jackson in spring training and asking him what it was about Barry Bonds. And that's the one thing he said. Barry Bonds does not give an inch. There is no flinch against left-handed.
Fouled away.
See, that's an arm swing. And we saw Eric Anthony when he made the last out of the inning. Again, another arm swing.
So in other words, it's a defensive swing.
Well, it's not one you're going to get any kind of drive on it. You see, just kind of throw the bat at it. You think it might be a strike, and you just kind of go and swing the bat at it.
Lenny fouling it off, looking for something he can handle off Swindell. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another breaking ball misses, and it's another full count. Swindell has had a number of them tonight. In fact, last time to Dykstra, he went 3-2 through a fastball, and Lenny got a base hit. He's still yet to walk a batter.
He got there the same way, too. He just not haven't been able to throw his curveball for a strike. And Lenny, as a result, has taken every breaking ball except for the first pitch in this at-bat. And that's the reason he's got a full count working now.
You see the sign? Fastball here. And it is a fastball. 3-2 to Dykstra. Hard ground ball, foul, first base side. Crowd really getting into the game now as the Phillies trail at 1-0 here in the 6th inning.
What we saw from Lenny when he had him 3-2 last time was a fastball up the middle that he hit very crisply.
Swindell has thrown 10 home run balls this year to lead the Houston staff. And he fouls off another fastball to Kurt Schilling, who fields it in the Phillies dugout. Schilling looking on. Looks like the bottom of a bird cage.
Really, they're so glad when he pitches that.
Look at that. He can put some newspaper down for that boy. 3-2. Lenny fouls it off again. I tell he's in a good groove right now, though, because he keeps fouling off pitches he can't quite handle.
The good hitters foul those pitches off. The bad hitters, I put myself in that category. I could find a way to put that ball in play. I could find a way to hit that ball softly to somebody.
3-2. Fouls off another one, so Lenny Dykstra really making Swindell work here, leading off the 6th inning, doing just what you want your leadoff man to do. 11 pitches so far to Dykstra. And Lenny goes through those mannerisms of his adjusting the gloves, adjusting the batting helmet.
I think he's going to throw fastballs from here on out to Lenny Definitely doesn't want to walk him.
Swindell looks like he could throw a fastball for a strike anytime he wants. Just that he doesn't want to throw that many of them because he doesn't have great velocity. And he walked him. What an at-bat by Dykstra to lead off the 6th inning. Walk number 1 issued by one of the stingiest pitchers in the league, Greg Swindell.
Well, he was going to do something other than have Lenny foul off those balls. So he went for the perfect pitch that time.
Here's the pitch he walks on.
Oh, it was a little slider.
I thought he
did put down one.
I mean, what? That's strange. Put down one and throw a hook.
Those pitchers are clever, though.
Yeah, they could get a strikeout on that and the catcher'd miss it.
Yeah, but you give the catcher some type of an indication. Yeah. You know, you shake it off, and you know it's the next pitch, or you rub something, and they.
Yeah, he knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Duncan, the batter, and he swings and misses at an off-speed pitch. There's Boa going through the signs.
Larry said, let's try that one more time where you hit the ball in the gap, and we'll see what happens.
They're playing Duncan slightly to pull in the outfield with the center fielder Bass as Dykstra leads off first. Dykstra could not run last time. He was having trouble picking up Swindell. Duncan, a fair ball down the line, heading for the corner. Here we go again. Here comes Lenny to third. Boa's waving him home. Biggio's throw will be late, and moving to third is Mariano Duncan, and we have a tie game.
Okay, there's Mariano Duncan. The last 2 at-bats, he's made some serious adjustments. If you remember first time, that pitch away from him, he wasn't even quite getting to it. Now what he's done, he's raised his hands. Look how he's sitting right there, only looking to hit the ball the other way, and does an excellent job. That's all he was looking for, was that fastball to drive the other way. That's why he hits left-handers so well.
They're going to score that at triple, Gary, as you see the throw come into Biggio, and he fires home. So for Duncan, that's his 2nd triple of the year.
Well, the first one came the night he was sick. He
Friday night.
got sick.
There's Dykstra scoring. He almost scored last time. Lenny Dykstra has just turned this game around by that at-bat he had in this inning. And Gary talking about the patience. And Duncan hitting the ball the other way. The Astros, let's see what they're going to do. Third, and Cedeno's back at short. Now, he's starting to come. Now, all of a sudden, he got the message. Whoops, I better come in, too.
I think this is a good move, especially if Swindell is ahead in the count. He's very good at keeping fastball on stride. That's a good move.
Throws him out. So the drawn in infield hits it to Biggio. His helmet down.
It's a breaking ball.
First ball breaking ball. I guess Krup's sitting there on a fastball. Got pulled a little bit on it. And Service goes out and have a word with Jim Fergosi look on. Dave Hollins, the batter. He's hit 2 fly balls tonight. Either one of them would have scored a run.
John Kruk went up the tunnel there just to relieve a little frustration. Boy, he gets irate.
There's a few darns and shucks is going on up there right now. Infield still all the way in for Houston. Hollins takes the pitch outside. Ball 1.
Well, you know, in this situation here, they're not going to give Hollins anything that he can jump on. You remember that breaking ball that he just barely missed in his last at-bat. You know, and you hate to throw him a fastball, so they might try and get him to chase something out of the strike zone, but I would not be afraid to walk him in this situation.
Deep to center field. Bass going back. He'll make the play, but the Phillies will take the lead. Hollins gets the job done. RBI number 45 as Duncan scores. Phillies 2, Astros 1.
I think Swindell definitely wanted Hollins to try and chase something. But Dave Hollins is really learning as a hitter, and he does just what you want your number 4 hitter to do. Hey, if you got to go out of the strike zone a little bit to drive in that run, go ahead and do that. But to see where Service wants the ball away, catches just the outside part of the plate there, and Hollins is able to go out there and drive the ball to center field. Good enough to get that run home.
And that's how strong he is to hit a changeup like that. Dalton, the batter, and he swings and misses. Darren is doubled and lined out. He's hit it hard twice tonight.
You know, Darren tried to catch the pitcher just saying, well, hey, I'm going to get ahead of this guy with the fastball, but it wasn't. It was a breaking ball, and he had a home run swing at it.
Swindell's one walk of the night has cost him, but that walk was not just a pitcher going out and walking the leadoff man in the inning. Lenny Dykstra really battled him to get on.
That was 12 pitches he saw in that at-bat.
That was just a great at-bat by Dykstra, which has set up this whole inning, and the Phillies now lead it 2-1. Dalton hits it hard to left center. This will be extra bases. Bass runs it down. Dalton to second base, his second double of the game, his 12th of the year.
Well, Darren Dalton's in somewhat of a groove right now because that was a changeup from Swindell. And the key to hitting that off-speed pitch and the breaking balls, look at his hands. He keeps them back, and even though the ball is off speed, he's able to keep his hands back and then go with the pitch. You know, what a pitcher looks for when he throws that changeup is to get that hitter out on his front foot and for him to just flinch a little bit with his hands, and it leaves him no power. But Darren kept his hands back and went the other way with that, a nice piece of hitting.
Incaviglia, the batter, as we look at Dalton at second base. Pete 1 for 2 on the night, a single and a pop at first on a spectacular play by Bagwell. That's Brian Williams, the right-hander, and the veteran Juan Agosto, the left-hander, starting to loose it. Incaviglia fouls it out of play. We mentioned the numbers on Incaviglia earlier. If you missed them, against Greg Swindell, he's given him all kinds of problems. He's now 4 for 36 lifetime off this left-hander. He does have a home run off him. It came this year in the second game of the season at the Astrodome.
Well, Swindell choosing to pitch to Incaviglia, who is red hot now, and I think it's based on the fact that he has gotten him out so successfully. But I have a tendency to go with the guy who's hot. So, you know, maybe be careful here and then try and work on Wes Chamberlain.
There's a high pop-up. This will go to the crowd behind home plate. Now to play. Gives us a chance to send birthday wishes on the night to Luann Musser, Andy Musser's lovely daughter, 26 years old today. Remember when Luann was born, I was working at WCAU with Andy and went out and got him cigars to pass out that day. 26.
They were doing
today.
TV then, in those days.
There's Andy. Those other two guys are really bearing down over there. Look at them. Harry was pointing out somebody. She's a great girl. Happy birthday to Luann. 0-2 to Incaviglia, and outside the pitch that he gets him out on, Gary. Inky was telling us he throws him a lot of changeups, but he throws him high fastball that has a tendency to chase.
Well, he did say that. He also has talked about how Dennis Menke has helped him to stay up on top of that ball and to hit down through the high pitch. So that's been his way of combating that, and he's really said Dennis Menke has helped him quite a bit, and it's good that you share the credit a little bit, and Dennis Menke definitely deserves it. Thought of very highly by his players.
1 ball and 2 strikes now to Incaviglia with 2 outs. Darren Dalton at second base, a couple of runs in. Phil's lead at 2-1 in the 6th. Hard ground ball to base hit left field. Dalton coming around third. Strong throw from left field is offline. They'll throw to second to get Incaviglia in a rundown, but the Phillies have a 3-1 lead. Gonzalez's throw was up the line. The run scores, and Incaviglia is getting a little revenge tonight on Greg Swindell. Darren Dalton scores a run, and the Phillies have a big 6th inning. 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and nobody left. 3-1 after 6.
You know, a lot of people think you have to be a pro to shop at Sherwin-Williams. Actually, you just have to want to paint like one. That's why they're having a do-it-yourself sale.
Their best-selling A100 exterior flat is only $13.99, and Classic 99 interior flat is just $12.99.
It ends June 26th. So if you're a do-it-yourselfer, you better get going.
steaming around second. He's on his way to third. He's got a triple. Field, Incaviglia back, and he makes a great tumbling catch. Deep to left field, fair or foul, it is a fair ball, a grand slam home run.
When you're thirsty, you need a squirt. Because there's nothing like our refreshing blend of citrus flavors. Give your thirst a squirt.
And back here at Veterans Stadium, has been driven in his 25th run here at the Vet. He had 37 runs batted in 30.
Well, we talked about that high fastball, and that's exactly what he had. High fastball, hit down on it. Made a little big there, but the run scored, so what the heck? What the heck? How sweet is revenge? I mean, played for the Astros last year. Definitely happy about doing that.
And having all that trouble with Swindell over the years, and gets 2 hits off him tonight. And they did go after him with the high fastball.
I think it's a little bit of stubbornness, a little bit of ego, because they wanted to go ahead and try and pitch to him as opposed to, you know, putting him on base. He's the hot hitter and going after Chamberlain.
Caminetti the batter. Fly ball, center field. Dykstra there. Lenny waits. 1 down. Lenny Dykstra got everybody fired up in that 6th inning. His own club. He got the crowd into the game. And the Phillies pick up a 3 spot. What a job he did getting on base.
Yeah, well, we'll give Duncan some of the credit there.
And Incaviglia. I'll tell you what, you get a leadoff man, though, that does the things that Dykstra does, and that's why the Phillies are better this year, because they didn't have him much.
I mean, and rightfully so, they check how the Phillies do when he's in the lineup and not in the lineup.
There's a base hit by Gonzalez, his first hit of the game, a single to right field. Hit number 5 off Danny Jackson.
Well, he's had his 2 previous at-bats were quite weak. He struck out and then broke his bat, so I know Gonzalez is happy to finally find base hit range there.
Phillies going walk, triple by Duncan. Sacrifice fly Hollins, double Dalton, and a base hit by Incaviglia to score 3 runs in the 6th inning to lead 3-1.
Hey, you know, the interesting thing in the series against the Mets, the Astros came back 3 times, and once in each game to win it.
Well, they're a team, as we look at David West starting to throw in the Phillies bullpen, the Astros are a team that used to be, if you got ahead of them, a lot like the Cardinals, they couldn't catch you very well because they didn't have much thump in their lineup. Now they do. They hit the home runs, they hit the extra base hits, and they can score runs. Danny Jackson hit the wall a little bit last game in the 7th inning, so Jim Fragosi's not taking any chances, and he has West up and throwing.
Danny Jackson's last complete game was in '89, so not accustomed here to pitching a lot of complete ball games.
He did pitch into the 9th inning, that game against, well, I hate to even talk about that game.
What?
That infamous game against the Mets that night. He pitched into the 9th inning that night. They went to the bullpen. That was the game where Bell had the error, the costly error, and the Phillies wound up losing to New York. Two balls and 1 strike now on Scott Service as Luis Gonzalez looks on. And Tom Spencer, the third base coach, goes through the sign. Service has struck out and grounded the 2nd tonight. Phillies with the infield at double play down. Joe Millette at shortstop. Mariano Duncan at 2nd base. Line drive. It could be a double play. Did they get him? No.
Excellent base running. You have the ball. The play is right there in front of you. Nowhere to go. You have to make sure the ball gets through.
And it was a bang-bang play. Somehow Gonzalez got back.
Here's a different. Service was missing that fastball earlier in the game. He's made an adjustment, and I think Danny Jackson might be losing just a little bit. Early on he's still throwing hard, don't get me wrong, but the difference is after pitching for 6 innings, you lose just a tad, and that can be the difference.
Larry Anderson joins West in the Phillies bullpen. Both saw action in the game yesterday. And Brian Williams, the right-hander, continues to throw in the Houston bullpen with the pitcher Greg Swindell on deck. Here is Andujar Cedeno, has grounded to 2nd, grounded to 3rd. Chamberlain fields it, and Gonzalez is going to stop at second. And now they'll probably hit for Swindell as the throw goes all the way through. Astros with runners at first and second and 2 outs here in the 7th, and Art Howe will make the change, and here comes Casey Candell out to bat for Swindell. Casey Candell, the veteran.
Well, we talked about the big swing that Cedeno has, so that when he makes contact, that ball's hit hard. Boom, inside out, and I mean seed right by John Kruk, who was coming off the bag after holding on the runner. Chamberlain comes up firing. He got to the ball quickly. Good positioning by the Phillies outfielders. Surprising to hit a ball like that with 2 outs and you can't get to third base when you're going on contact. Chamberlain was in a good position.
Candell is a pinch hitter, is 3 for 14. He's batting .273 right-handed, 160 from the left side. And Danny Jackson's pitch to him is over for a strike. Casey is 2 for 5 lifetime off Jackson. There is Brian Williams warming up, the right-hander. This will be Danny Jackson's last inning, probably, as you see him up to around 100 pitches, and he's due to bat in the 7th. We'll see whether or not Fregosi will take him out, but he could be starting to tire a little bit.
He's definitely bringing it up there.
0-2 to Candell. Oh, man.
He tried to backdoor that. Ball was outside.
And it's 1-2.
I know, Chris, I know you're saying strike, but that ball didn't quite.
Ball's outside, but some umpires call them strikes, some don't. Nowadays, you never know what they are, do you?
When in doubt, swing it.
Same spot, same result. The guy's consistent. That's Jerry Davis. There are a number of umpires in the league that have the bigger plates, and that's a strike. This guy, it's not. Hitters like that. He wish it had been a strike.
Danny Jackson, everybody here.
Danny Jackson was on his way to the dugout. Here we go, 2-2 now to Candell. There it is out there again. That one was over the plate, and he fouls it away.
Little bit of a dilemma for Jackson now. He's seen enough of his fastballs away, so that's not going to fool him, and he's looking to go that way. Do you dare try to bust this little guy inside?
No.
Whereas if you don't get it in there, you could find some serious trouble.
I think you want to stay away from him, make him hurt you away. Oh, they came in. And he almost hurt him.
Oh,
close.
Safe.
He was safe. I thought he was safe. Yep, they did come in, and it's an infield hit. Millette was playing really deep, and the throw to second is just barely late.
Boy, that's, I tell you what, good coaching, good base running, because on a play like this, it's usually taken for granted. It's an out. Everybody runs past the bag, off the field. And Cedeno signaling safe right there.
And here comes Jim Fregosi. He's going to make a pitching change. Bases are loaded, and they're safe, and he was safe. Millette had the play at first. He also thought he had it at second, and here comes Fregosi. So Danny Jackson, one hitter away from getting through the inning, and he's disgusted as he slams the ball in his glove and then gives it to Fregosi. So Jackson will depart after 6 2/3 innings.
Boy, you had to think that that 98 pitch count was something that they had in their mind from the beginning, because that ball wasn't hit hard at all.
Well, Danny Jackson leaves. Good hand from the crowd. Larry Anderson on his way in to pitch to Craig Biggio, and we'll be back right after this.
Highly sensitive microphones and even stethoscopes were used to isolate noises in the new Intrepid. Triple sealed doors, specially designed tires, and a unique muffler system were used to quiet them. You said your next car had to be quiet.
Excuse me.
And boy, did we listen. Intrepid. This changes everything.
When this whole world starts getting me down and people are just too much for me to face,
cares drift right into space. British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
There's Danny Jackson, who was on the bench. And according to the replay, maybe he should have been out of the inning.
No question. Watch the foot. The front foot does not get to the bag. You see right there, Duncan is there, and the foot is not there. Now, if you look at his back, his trailing foot, the one that's underneath his body, that's not there either.
Phillies have had 2 calls go against him at second base tonight by second base umpire Brian Gorman. And we'll see what this one does. There are the numbers on Larry Anderson. Anderson in the game yesterday afternoon. Andy pitched an inning and 2/3. He had 3 strikeouts. He'll be facing Biggio, who's 0 for 1 off him this year. There are 2 outs in the inning. The Astros have them loaded, and the Phillies lead it 3-1. It'll be right-hander to right-hander.
Yeah, we know Larry Anderson, slider, and then another slider.
And these guys know him well because he pitched for them for a number of years. Anderson on the DL from the 8th of May to the 26th with inflammation in his right shoulder. Has 3 wins out of the bullpen.
I think when Larry Anderson's slider's working, I'd take him pitching to a right-hander anytime.
Right-handed hitters are batting .222 off him this year. So we'll see what happens. Craig Biggio knocked in 17 runs on the year. Bases loaded and 2 outs. Kevin Bass on deck. There's one of them. Fouled in and out of the Phillies dugout. I think they scored that a fielder's choice on that ball. We didn't give that to you, so it's a fielder's choice. There are the runners. Gonzalez at third, Cedeno at second, and the pinch hitter Casey Candell on the fielder's choice at first. No balls and 2 strikes to Biggio as Anderson gets ahead of him 0-2.
Now, Anderson a slider pitcher, but we know 0-2. He's going to try and set up the slider by busting him inside or something away or whatever.
Let me tell you, I'd be the first one to not agree with you. You've been right on it all night, every pitch. Slider to Kruk, to Anderson. They're out of it. Larry Anderson does the job again as he gets Biggio to hit the ball off the end of the bat. In the inning, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and the Astros will leave them loaded. 3-1 Phils.
Did you know Texaco puts System 3 in every grade of gasoline?
System 3 gets high marks in every grade, which is a lot better than I ever did.
My dad says Texaco puts System 3 in every grade. I'm in the 4th grade.
Of course. That's why I always fill up with System 3. What do I look like? Don't say it.
Visit your Texaco station.
I can get the tires rotated, the car lubed, and still get home in time for the game.
Mow the lawn.
For unbeatable System 3 gasolines and so much more.
Mow the lawn.
Mow the lawn.
When this whole world starts getting me down and people are just too much for me to face. Oh, love, the only place I know.
New Club World. Let all your cares drift right into space.
Make it so.
British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
May I help you, sir?
Yeah, I'll have a Coca-Cola.
You sure you want a Coke?
Yeah, I want a Coke.
Okay, pal.
Why did you order a Coke? It tastes good. I didn't care if it was a Coke. You just want to I'll just have a cola. I'll just have a cola. I'll just have a cola.
Need a drink, sir?
I'll just have a...
You'll just have a...
I'll just have a Coke.
Ooh.
Hear that, guys? A Coca-Cola. See ya, pal. Oh.
Hi, I'm Dick Vermeil with the Blue Cross Blue Shield Health Tip. What % of heart attack victims don't believe they're having a heart attack? 50%? 70%? 90%? 90% of the heart attack victims dismiss the symptoms of heart attack, often mistaking it for heartburn, indigestion, or stress.
Here's the pitch that ended the inning for Larry Anderson. Bases loaded. Look at this. Slider away. You see Biggio reaches out of the strike zone and hits the ball in fair territory and brings it back fair. Larry Anderson covering over there, bad back and all. Nice job.
And the new pitcher is the right-hander Brian Williams. He is 6'2", 195 pounds, just 24 years of age, out of Lancaster, South Carolina. Now makes his home in Columbia, South Carolina. Originally selected by Pittsburgh, and then Houston got him as a compensation pick, facing Wes Chamberlain, who fouls it away. So the numbers on this young right-hander. He earned his first save back in April against the Cardinals. He's allowed just 6 earned runs in his past 26 and 2/3 innings, pitching mostly in middle relief. That covers 14 innings. He's a fastball slider pitcher. He throws hard. Chamberlain, Millette, and Anderson do to bat in this inning. West beats it foul.
It's a fine reliever they have here. But if you talk to the Astros about what their biggest need is at this point, and they'll tell you it's a left-handed relief pitcher that they're interested in. They're checking the waiver wires, trying to come up with someone that can help them in that department.
They started the season with Bell in the bullpen as their one left-handed reliever. He's back in the minors, and now they have Al Osuna, who they brought back from AAA, and Juan Agosto, who they re-signed. There's Osuna. Agosto was with them for a while and then was gone for a couple of years.
Osuna, he showed some promise last year for them. Didn't even make the ball club out of spring training this year, and now is brought back.
Chamberlain, nice play. Biggio can't get it. Oh, Biggio's got some kind of range out there.
That was a fine play, but you know, you got to tip your hat to Wes. He's been hitting the ball hard. He's been going that way, and that was a good piece of hitting. Hit the ball hard his first at bat, and a fine play was made on him. This time he stays there. That's a tough pitch too, down and away. Biggio covers, but is not able to turn and make the throw.
Well, Joe Millette will be up there to bunt, try and bunt Chamberlain to second, because Jim Eisenreich has moved into the on-deck circle to bat for Anderson as David West throws in the Phillies bullpen. Anderson will go 1/3 of an inning. Outstanding ball game here tonight. A lot of good stuff going on. Millette takes it outside for ball 1 as he squared to bunt.
Good. Larry Anderson was able to get out of that jam. You don't want Joe Millette coming up making a mistake that could be costly, you know, in his first opportunity.
And that shortstop position has been costly. Bagwell takes a look at second, flips to Biggio covering at first. Millette gets a bunt down. That's a sacrifice 3-4, and here comes Eisenreich.
Well, this is what they want from their shortstop, whoever plays shortstop. Make the basic plays and be able to help yourself fundamentally. And Joe Millette gets the ball down. Good sacrifice play.
Jim Eisenreich, the batter, batting at .361 overall. As a pinch hitter, just 1 for 9. He's been red hot lately. He's gone 8 for his last 17 in his last 6 games, 4 of them starting roles. And they will stay this way with a right-hander facing Eisenreich. Art Howe knows that if he went to Osuna, the left-hander, then Ricky Jordan would come off the bench. So he's decided he'll take this matchup as opposed to the left-hander Osuna against Ricky Jordan. Brian Williams misses outside.
Look how Williams holds his right hand in his glove. A lot of pitchers sometimes will tip the pitch they're going to throw by how they place the ball in their glove. You'll see how his hand is, his wrist is cocked. He may do that on a fastball and have it uncocked on a breaking ball. But those are things you watch for in a young player. Watch when he comes to the set position.
And there are certain guys on every team will sit and watch that stuff.
Right. You see how his wrist is cocked right there? He has to do that every time.
Whistled that pitch, 1-2.
Yeah, that was a slider, down and in.
Well, they say he's a hard thrower. We've seen him before, and he's kind of struggled early in his career, but has a lot of promise, and the Astros like him. They've also used him as a starter, and they now think he's more equipped to be out of the bullpen.
It's that slider again. Ooh, gas.
Struck him out on a hard fastball. Last year, he started 16 games for Houston with 7 and 6. So Eisenreich down on strikes.
Jim chases a ball that's high in the strike zone. If a guy throws hard, you want to lay off that pitch yourself because it's really hard to catch up with that high hardwood. Boom, you see him just swing under it a little bit.
And Dykstra, the batter, he's popped up, singled, walked, and scored the tying run in the 6th inning. Had a 12-pitch at bat, and they're going to put him on to pitch to Duncan. See Mariano Duncan waiting.
They must not know Duncan has 8 hits in his last 2.5 ball games.
He's going strictly percentage here as we look at Art Howe. I think you've seen him hit the ball well tonight off the left-hander Swindell.
I tell you, that's where the scouting reports can be somewhat deceiving. You know, whoever scouted the Phillies and gave their report to the Houston Astros, you know, they could have missed something. You know, you got guys coming in now that have just gotten hot in the last couple of days. Before the scouts had, after the scouts had a chance to watch it.
Duncan struck out his first time up, then singled to right, and then tripled to right and knocked in the go-ahead run. The Phillies have since added another and lead it 3-1. Williams is making his 3rd lifetime appearance against the Phillies. Duncan takes a breaking ball outside. And he's picked up 2 wins against the Phillies in those 2 games. Here you see the defense on the right side as Duncan's been hitting the ball that way. No sense in holding Dykstra on. That doesn't make any sense. 1 ball, 1 strike, not with 2 outs, sure. They're not worried about the play at second. 12-game hitting streak now for Mariano. He came into the game in the 11-game hitting streak batting at .347. He's increased that. Left center field. Bass, a long run. He won't get there. It's going all the way to the wall. Chamberlain scores. Dykstra scores. Duncan's on his way to 3rd, and he's going to have another triple. Boy, is he hot.
Well, you walk Dykstra to play the percentages and go after the hot Mariano Duncan. The Astros have been hurt twice by the hot hitters on the Phillies, and that's Incaviglia and now Duncan again. Boom, breaking ball hangs inside. Here's a guy with an excellent fastball through Duncan, 3 breaking balls. And the end result is a triple in the left center.
So Mariano Duncan was with his 3rd triple. He's gotten them all since Friday. 2 of them tonight. Kevin Bass could not get to that ball. Bass is really not a center fielder. Playing out there tonight because they're not playing Finley against the left-hander Jackson. There's Duncan at 3rd base with 2 more RBIs. Kruk the batter. Mariano now has 20 batted in on the year.
So you think we can get those guys WIP to maybe start that campaign for John Kruk to get on the All-Star? They're showing me something.
Kruk, yeah. Well, you just put out the word to them. Somebody will tell them tomorrow.
You like a challenge? I know the guys. You know we share the same office building. I could go up there and check on them every day.
Go and slap them around a little. 2-0. You have to get in line to do that. Here's the pitch to Kruk. Fouled away.
John Kruk offering at that high fastball again. He probably wants it down in the strike zone a little bit.
He was ahead in games and Phillies didn't hold the lead for him. Two and one to Kruk. Base hit center field. Phillies pack on another run and lead it by a score of 6-1 here in the 7th inning. RBI for the Krucker, number 33. That's Harry the K's name for him, Crucker.
You see a breaking ball here. Good stuff means absolutely nothing if you don't have good location to go with it.
He's gotten hurt on that breaking ball, Gary, as you pointed out.
Sure has. And I really like to see his hand position that we looked at on the fastball. There's John Kruk back up the middle.
So the Phillies have scored 3 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th to wipe out a 1-0 Houston lead and lead it 6-1 here in the 7th inning. Dave Hollins, a batter, 0 for 2 tonight with a sacrifice fly run batted in, his 45th of the year. Hollins rips it to left center field. Bass a long run. He can't get there. It bounces off the wall. Kruk steaming around third. He'll score, and the Phillies have another run, and they're burning it now, 7-1.
Let me ask you a question, Chris. If you're Hollins, what are you looking for up there? You had Mario Duncan nail a breaking ball. You had John Kruk nail a breaking ball. So he sits on fastball, gets it, and nails it to left center.
Dave Hollins has his 46th run batted in.
This is a fastball, and he just tattoos it. That ball is scalded off.
And here comes Art Howe out. He's going to make a pitching change, as that's going to be it for Brian Williams, and they're going to go to Al Osuna, the left-hander, to pitch to Darren Dalton. Hollins at second base with the double, his 15th of the year, and there goes Brian Williams, who was looking pretty good after striking out Eisenreich, and then the roof fell in on him.
Yeah, we've gotten good scouting reports on Williams, and he just comes in and gets nailed.
Depends on the scouting report. Yeah. Well, 7-1 right now in favor of the Phillies. Be back after this.
May I help you, sir?
Yeah, I'll have a Coca-Cola.
You sure you want a Coke?
Yeah, I want a Coke.
Okay, pal.
How did you order a Coke? It tastes good.
Didn't care if it was a Coke. You just want to
I'll just have a cola. I'll just have a cola. I'll just have a cola.
Need a drink, sir?
I'll just have a...
You'll just have a...
I'll just have a Coke.
Ooh.
Hear that, guys? A Coca-Cola. See ya, pal. Oh.
When Bob borrowed a lawnmower, all he got was short grass. When Bob borrowed hedge clippers, all he got was nice shrubs. When Bob borrowed a ladder, all he got was red shutters. When Bob borrowed a hose, all he got was wet. But when Bob borrowed money, he got indispensable banking services. The Mellon PSFS Smart Accounts. The package accounts for people who borrow as well as save.
And here is Al Osuna coming into the ballgame. There you see the numbers on Osuna. He was recalled from Tucson on the 20th of May when the Astros traded Mark Grant to the Colorado Rockies for outfielder Braulio Castillo, the former Philly. At Tucson, Osuna was 3-1 with a 4.50 earned run average. He had 1 save in 13 games. He throws a lot of changeups as we look at the Fanatic.
I guess he knew he'd be back sooner or later, right?
Yeah, sooner or later. Good game. Homestand tomorrow and Wednesday. That'll be it. Astros will be here for 2 more. If it's anything like tonight, come on out. It'll be a lot of fun. Game will start at 7:35. We've had a good ball game here tonight. The Phillies have just broken this one open and lead it 7-1. Darren Dalton, the batter, to bat off Al Osuna. Misses low with a fastball. Osuna is 6'3", 200 pounds. He is now 27 years of age, from Inglewood, California. Last year with the Astros, 6-3 in 66 games with a 4.23 earned run average. That's Tom Edens, the right-hander, formerly with the Mets, starting to warm up.
You know, after Bob Watson was ready to leave after we spoke, he said, "Hey, I hope we see you guys in the playoffs. We'd love to play you." Well, the Phillies are doing their part about getting there, and I don't know.
There's Watson. 14 years with Houston, along with that Terry Poole. I'll never forget what he did in the playoffs in '80.
Did we get him out at all?
I don't remember it too often. 2-0 now to Dalton. High fly ball, center field, playable. Who wants it? Bass, Candell, Biggio the play. Where'd I get Candell in there? Biggio makes the play. What an inning for the Phillies as Biggio grabs it. 4 runs. And the Phillies now lead it by a score of 7-1. Who's hitting me on the back?
It's a round world, genuine and true. It keeps on spinning and you always come through. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
The metal cylinder is secured and turned in a counterclockwise motion, causing the internal railing to rise and disengage. It's easy to make something as simple as opening a jar complex. The challenge is making the complex simple. But that's what we do at Bell Atlantic Mobile. We take cutting-edge technology and place it comfortably in your hands. Bell Atlantic Mobile. Advanced technology and people will make it mean something.
Only one dealer can offer you 5 of the 10 best sellers in America. Your Quality Plus Ford dealer. Now, Ford Taurus is the #1 selling car in America. A leader in safety with available dual airbags and anti-lock brakes. Ford Taurus has been on Car and Driver's top 10 list 7 years straight. Now, for a limited time, save $1,200, including $500 cash back from Ford on all Taurus sedans and wagons. Hurry, save on 5 of the top 10 sellers in America. Only at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
And here's the scoring summary on the ball game tonight. You see the Phillies have scored often and late in this ball game. 3 in the 6th, 4 in the 7th. Mariano Duncan, another big game. He has a 12-game hitting streak. Dave Hollins has knocked in a couple runs, and Pete Incaviglia with his 37th run batted in. Phillies will leave Jim Eisenreich in the ball game. He will play right field. Ricky Jordan, the new first baseman, and now on the mound and pitching for the Phillies, the left-hander David West. West in the ball game yesterday, pitching the 9th inning. There you see the overall numbers on West, and what a job he's done.
One thing that's going to develop with a lot of these players, especially ones that have not had success in the past, is they're going to get extra confidence by being on a winning ball club. And they're going to say, hey, well, if I'm on this ball club, then I must be pretty good myself. And that's, we talk about confidence, and that's what you need sometimes.
Here's Kevin Bass, who had the Astros looking pretty good there for a while. He had a home run his last time up. That came in the 6th inning. Gave Houston a 1-0 lead. Now all of a sudden Phillies lead it by a score of 7-1, and we are in the 8th. Slider, and he can't hold on it. 0-2.
That's such a nasty pitch. A slider is one that, you know, comes in there looking like a fastball and all of a sudden breaks down. And if you throw as hard a fastball as West does, then that means you're starting, the batter's going to start that bat a little bit quicker. And that slider will get you every time.
So Mark Davis loosening in the Phillies bullpen. He could possibly be coming in with the Phillies having a 6-run lead. His last appearance was on the 23rd of May against Montreal, so he's not been in a ball game for a long time. There's that slider again. He can't hold up. Kevin Bass upset with himself. Strikeout number 1 for West.
Well, this is that left-handed pitching that Houston Astros say is their weakness. The Phillies are definitely happy to have David West pitching for their ball team.
And Jeff Bagwell, the batter. Bagwell tonight is 1 for 3 with a double and a strikeout. Bagwell batting at .341 at this point, same average he had coming into the ball game.
Darren Dalton would use that fastball to try and get ahead. Boom.
And he has a good fastball.
He does. And now, see, when you see that type of fastball coming from the guy, and then all of a sudden you see something coming up there at that speed, and all of a sudden it breaks, that's got to be trouble. They call that a slider. It's kept a lot of hitters in the minors.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people take other positions in life, too. 1 ball and 1 strike on Bagwell.
Say, Chris, I got a message here. Said my analyzing count, I'm at 200 pitches now, and I'm starting to tire a little bit.
I think you're still going good. For a guy that's not used to doing 9, you know, you go those hard 3 and get out usually. I want you to know that you're still making sense.
Okay.
All right? I mean, you didn't have Candell catching a pop-up then.
Okay,
You're doing a great job. Just hang in there. Foul ball down the line. Jordan near the tarp. And it's going to come back to Ricky, and he makes the play. Way to hang in there with the ball, Ricky Jordan, 2 down.
Looks easy. What Ricky had to do was run over to the tarp, take it out of play. You get to it. No, you don't have to worry about it. See, he picks it up now. Anything else he does, he can move in the right direction. Look at that, Duncan happy, couple of triples, big hits. Man, it's said this game isn't fun.
David West has allowed an earned run in only 3 of his 23 appearances this year. And he has a couple of saves for the Phillies. This is not a save situation. Eric Anthony, the batter. And he takes strike 1. Anthony tonight 1 for 3 with a single off Jackson. So Danny Jackson is the pitcher of record now for the Phillies, and he richly deserves to win a game that he's led late, and they just haven't been able to hold leads for him this year.
He's pitched very well, and I think right now he's considered probably the number 4 starter, though they're all pitching well. So when you can throw someone like Danny Jackson at a team, that's the kind of depth you're featuring.
Strike 3 called, and West just blows him away here in the 8th inning with 2 strikeouts. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. To the bottom of the 8th, Bills lead it 7-1.
Do Texaco food marts really have everything?
Oh, they have gum, cheese, candy.
Many reasons I come to Texaco.
Chips, cereals, nice people.
There are many reasons.
You want it, they got it. If they don't have it, you don't need it.
Isn't that candy that pulls product
Did
out?
I skip something?
Visit your Texaco station and food mart for unbeatable System 3 gasoline.
Pop comes here for System 3, and I come here for Pop. Right, Mom?
And just about everything else.
I'd recommend it to anybody. And I would, too.
Okay, panel. How can you recognize the genuine Yellow Pages?
It has a yellow cover.
Good.
It says Bella, Pennsylvania on the front.
Right.
It has more choices inside.
Yes! That's how you tell a genuine article from mere imitators. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
The genuine Bella, Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic Company.
On this naval aircraft carrier, these men have been selected to write a page in military history. They're men who fight fearlessly.
I'm not.
Or 2.
I'm not.
Not. And love passionately.
I don't want to go back.
I don't want to be alone.
Hot Shots, the mother of all movies.
Hey, baseball cap day is coming up on Sunday, June the 20th. Phillies and those Florida Marlins will be doing battle that afternoon. It's a terrific continuation of the nostalgia-style Phillies baseball caps. This year's model will be from the 1933 uniforms, and the compliments of Texaco, free for all men 15 and over. That's Sunday, June the 20th. The Marlins here at 1:35. Call 463-1000 for your ticket. Art Howe goes to pitcher number 4 tonight. It's the right-hander Tom Edens coming into game number 9. There are the numbers on him. He's been hit around. He at one time was property of the Phillies. Phillies got him as a player to be named later after they sent Juan Samuel to the Mets in exchange for Lenny Dykstra and Roger McDowell on June 18th of 1989. He's been with a number of organizations, acquired by Houston in November of 92 in exchange for Hector Carrasco and Brian Griffith. There you see that note on Tom Edens. He is 31 years of age, 6'2", 188-pounder.
Well, I think Art Howe probably have a nice relaxing day at the golf course tomorrow. Usually run into Art out on the golf course when he's in Philadelphia. He has a couple of friends here, Ron Williams and Phil Berman. I know they take Art out, and I'm sure he'll enjoy that day off tomorrow.
Out at your club?
My club? I don't have a club.
No?
No, we keep that secret.
I didn't say which one it was, because I've certainly never been there with you.
There's Art
Howe.
He's been there with me.
The ball's at 1 strike on Incavillo. You've invited us a lot of times, but we just haven't been able to, in defense. You have invited us, we just haven't been able to get together on that yet.
And I will invite you every time the team's on the road.
7-12-0 for the Phillies, 1-6-0 for the Astros. See, he gets nasty near the end. Bounces up there. Incaviglia's had another good game, 2 for 3 tonight with another run batted in. Incaviglia with 40 hits on the year and 37 RBIs.
I'll tell you what, I have had Dykstra and Dalton out there tearing up the grounds, spitting all over the place.
Struck him out with a breaking ball. Incaviglia thought the pitch was outside and high, as he says to the home plate umpire Jerry Davis.
It's a big curveball. Straight over the top and down. Ooh.
That's what Eden's features, is that big hook. And here's Ricky Jordan getting in at bat. Ricky batting in Wes Chamberlain's spot. Chamberlain tonight was 1 for 3 with a run scored. There are the numbers on Ricky. Broken bat. Bass coming on. Here comes Gonzalez, and Luis Gonzalez races in and makes the catch. Nice play by him. 2 down.
It's a big swing from Ricky Jordan. A lot of outfielders have a tendency to break back on a big swing, but that kind of hung up there for him. Comes in and makes a nice play.
And Joe Millette, the batter, 0 for 2 with a sacrifice. Misses low, ball 1.
Shakes his head. Yeah, you got that one right.
What do you mean, Rook? By that. Fastball ripped up the middle for a base hit. And Joe Millette picks up his first base hit since coming back with the Phillies.
Hey, the fans are in his corner. Nice piece of hitting. I mean, anybody you bring up from the minor leagues and put them in this situation right here, if they come through, you know, you got to give them credit. It's a nice piece of hitting by Joe Millette, and I'm happy to see him get it for 1.
Yeah, Joe Millette, a guy who wasn't even in spring training with the Phillies this year. Eisenreich, the batter. Jim struck out as a pinch hitter in the 7th, stayed in the game, now batting in the 9 hole. Chops one towards the hole. Good play by Biggio, and he throws out Eisenreich. That'll do it for the Phillies here in the 8th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We're heading to the 9th. Phil's ahead, 7-1.
When this whole world starts getting me down, and people are just too much for me to face.
New Club World. Let all your cares drift right into space. British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
The Phillies take on the West in 7 big games. First, 3 with the Dodgers, Monday, July 5th, Tuesday, July 6th, and Wednesday, July 7th, all at 7:35. Followed by 4 against the Giants with Bonds, Clark, and Williams. Thursday, July 8th, and Friday, July 9th at 7:35. Saturday, July 10th at 3 o'clock. And then all kids 14 and under get a free batting practice jersey Sunday, July 11th at 1:35. Call 463-1000.
From 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue to right here in Pennsylvania, people are searching for new choices in health care.
The costs are strangling me.
Which inspired Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield to create the new personal choice.
It seems like you always have to give something up.
A health plan that gives people the benefits of an HMO.
No one has the right to tell me what doctor I can see.
Without asking them to give up their freedom. Personal choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
Let's take a look at the National League scoreboard. That's good news for Phillies fans. If the Expos lose, 8.5 is the lead for the Phils. Mets are beating the Cubs, 2 late games. On the coast, quickly to the American League, postponed at Cleveland. Toronto beats California, get back on the winning track. Baltimore over Oakland in the 7th. Chicago ahead of Detroit. They're in the 5th inning. Milwaukee ahead of Seattle in the 7th. Texas leads Minnesota in the 4th inning, and Kansas City comfortably ahead of the Yankees in the 5th inning. Let's go to the 9th inning. David West still on. So Mark Davis and Jose De Leon, who've been throwing in the Phillies bullpen, we're just getting a little workout there. Caminetti, Gonzalez, and Service to face West. I'd like to thank Tommy Citro Jr. for sending a fan up here tonight. We appreciate that. A personal fan, adjustable, battery operated. Said to use it when Harry and Whitey fire up their assorted tobacco products. 2-1. Don't have to worry about that with Gary. That's really nice.
Caminetti took the first pitch just to because when you're down 7-1 and it's the 9th inning, you take a pitch, you take a strike.
And now it's 2-1.
He did that. Took a strike, and the next 2 pitches have been balls.
Fouled away right side. West had a strong 8th inning with 2 strikeouts. Jackson, Anderson, and West for the Phillies. Danny Jackson, the pitcher of record, as is the starter Greg Swindell. The Phillies beat Swindell. It'll be the first time they've ever beat him here at the Vet. He had been going along with a pretty good scoreless streak for a while. 2 shutouts last year, 5 shutout innings tonight. And then they hit him with 3 in the 6th, 4 in the 7th.
It's really funny that, you know, it would all start with a walk.
With a walk.
This guy, 1 walk.
12 pitch at bat by Lenny Dykstra. Caminetti takes it low, and the count full at 3-2. The on deck batter is Gonzalez. Fouled away. Thank Gary Maddox for working all 9 with us tonight. Jay will be back on Wednesday. He's on another assignment this evening.
Another charitable event.
We know he's in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I believe that's in Canada. Here's the 3-2. Looped into right field, and that's a base hit as it bounces in front of Eisenreich. Caminetti with his 2nd hit of the ball game. And that gives us a chance to tell you that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Phillies and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form or otherwise used without the express written consent of the Phillies. Hit number 7 for Houston. First one off West. And Gonzalez, the batter, 1 for 3 with a strikeout. All his at-bats coming off the starter Danny Jackson. Danny had 1 walk and 3 strikeouts tonight. 6 2/3 innings for Jackson. 6 hits and 1 earned run. That's a home run by Bass.
Ooh, squeezing. That ball was a strike there. You know, I'm not usually in the pitcher's corner.
So I've noticed that over the years,
especially in the 7-1 ball.
2-0.
See, folks, that's why when you're trailing, it's best to go ahead and take a strike. The easiest way to get on base if the pitcher's going to, you know, just go ahead and walk you.
There's Jim Fregosi appearing calm. And that's one up high, ball 4. And West issues a walk. First walk of the ball game by West, second by Phillies pitching. 2 on and nobody out here in the 9th inning for Scott Service, the catcher.
Well, we mentioned it's a little early to start getting any kind of nerve problems or anything like that, but the Astros in their series against the Mets that they just came off of, they had to come from behind in all 3 ball games to sweep that series. So you can bet, regardless of what we're thinking here as Phillies fans, they're in the dugout saying, let's score 9 in the 9th.
Well, they've won 4 straight, Gary, and 8 out of 10, so they've been a hot team. They come into play tonight 4 out in 2nd place. 8 games over 500 at 31 and 23. They're 2 over 500 on the road, this ball club. There's a strike call as they're going up there and taking the pitch, as you pointed out they should be doing.
Well, and it's very important for David West to throw that first pitch for a strike, because then he doesn't have to try and guide it in there. He knows they're throwing he knows they're taking a strike, so it's his job just to throw strikes. And he, you know, you have a tendency to tighten up a little bit.
Crowd here tonight at Veterans Stadium, 26,445, puts the Phillies over the 1 million mark in attendance here early in the year.
Pitch way out of the strike zone, just overthrown. David West trying to throw it too hard, getting a little bit ahead of himself. Settle down and get that ball over.
Inside 2-1. By the way, we were told that John Kruk left the game with a contusion of the right knee.
Is that kind of like a bruise?
I think that is a bruise.
So we saw how effective David West was when he was throwing that hard slider. Well, if he's behind in the count, he can't throw that pitch anymore. So that's one thing that he'll lose. He has to bear down and throw that fastball, and he's missing with it.
West one pitch away from loading him up. Phillies with a 6-run lead here in the 9th inning. They've had a couple games get away from them in the 9th in the last few weeks. And now the bullpen is starting to stir. There's Mitch. He hasn't gotten up yet.
Well, he will as soon as it starts to become a save situation.
It's getting close. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Good at bat there by Service. See Johnny Padres looking on with Fregosi.
Do you send him
no
here?
longer sitting. No. Do you send him? I just looked at him. Yeah, go ahead, send him.
Same hitter, same hitter.
Yeah, right. I bet other people I've worked with over the years ask me those kind of questions. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Two on and nobody out here in the 9th. 7-1 Phils. 3-2 pitch. Oh, deep to left field. This ball is gone. A 3-run home run for Scott Service.
What?
And all of a sudden it's 7-4. Gary, that's just what you're talking about.
Well, that's also the best way to kill a rally. Now you have nobody on and you can go ahead and do what you have to do. You like for the guy to first and third him for about 2 hours, but you know, out of the ballpark.
This seemed like a nice, neat little package here. Boy, Danny Jackson gets in some weird situations when he has a lead and he's in the clubhouse.
After he's already done the best he can.
He has to wonder what's going on here. Ball landed right on the logo there.
Oh.
Whoops, there it goes. Okay, so here's Cedeno with Chris James on deck and Mitch Williams starting to throw now, and it's 1-0 now to Cedeno, and you are now in a save situation. There's a strike call. So West had that overpowering 8th inning, and now in the 9th inning, as we look at Williams, went base hit, walk, home run, Service's 4th homer of the year.
Well, it's a different David West. He still has the same stuff, but now he's falling behind the hitters, and he has to come back to him.
There is Jim Fregosi looking on. West pitched an inning in the ball game yesterday. Cedeno fouls it away. He is 1 for 3 with 2 ground outs and a single. So the Houston Astros are hanging in there. There is Scott Service, who just bombed that home run out of here to left field.
I mean, for the first time in the inning, he can now come at someone aggressively with that hard slider if he chooses to.
There's Chris James in the on-deck circle. He'll bat for Edens.
Oh, yeah. See ya.
Great call. Blowing away there with a fastball. 1 out. Strikeout number 3 for West.
Look where Darren Dalton sets up inside for his fastball. Gets it right there. Just freezes Cedeno.
And here comes Chris James, a former Philly. Bat here in the 9th inning as a pinch hitter. A Houston area native. Boy, is he happy to be home playing for the Astros. 2 for 10 as a pinch hitter is CJ. And the pitch is high ball 1. Williams continuing to throw. Phillies bullpen on deck is Biggio. You can bet if James gets on here, Williams is in the game.
Found it a bit interesting that the Astros chose not to hit Chris James and Casey Candell instead when they had an opportunity where a long ball could have helped him.
Candell got on the fielder's choice to load him up. Anderson came in and retired Biggio in the 7th.
See what that home run did? I mean, it kills the rally, and now you must get it started all over again. You got him now pitching from a full windup if he chooses to, or whatever.
2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, that you're right, and yet people would think, what is he talking about? Kills the rally, hit a 3-run home run, but it's a very good point. Because you have to start all over again.
Now he's throwing from his windup. They had him out of a stretch, and he was having trouble throwing out of a stretch.
One of Lee Thomas's good deals. as he got Randy Reddy and John Kruk from San Diego for Chris James. Struck him out. And West is firing now from that windup. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 4 overall, 2 outs and nobody on base for Biggio.
Reach back and here's some gas for you. Right by him.
Well, West has not been scored on much this year. He showed you that ERA at 1.30, which is going to take a little hit with these 3 runs.
You know, again, 3-2, and he was just trying to lay the ball in there, and that ball was just smoked by Service.
Biggio takes strike 1 call. Craig is 0 for 1 tonight. Or excuse me, 0 for 4. Last time up was the big spot in the ball game when he grounded out.
Off of Larry Anderson.
As Andy came in and did the job again, as he's done so often this year. Phillies are so happy to have Larry Anderson back, as he really sets up their bullpen late, and they missed him when he was gone. It messed everything up.
Boy, and I tell you, he sets up that clubhouse too, doesn't he?
Oh, hey, Biggio to deep left, and Cavilla back. It's gone. Another home run. And West has served up 2 home runs. That's Biggio's 9th of the year, and it's 7-5, and we may see Mitch Williams. Phillies can't quite get this one over with, and it's starting to get a little itchy. Here comes Fergosi, and that'll be it. Here comes Mitch Williams will be coming in.
Again, fastball down and in. Biggio, well, he likes hitting off that left-hander a lot better than the right-hander like Larry Anderson. That ball smoked.
And now the Houston Astros are showing you why they've been able to hang in here this year. Why they've been such a good team all season, is they have no quit in them. David West will leave after one of his rockier outings of the year.
Early on when he came out, he has 4 strikeouts in 1 2/3 innings, so he was throwing the ball hard. His location became a problem as he started to fall behind hitters here in the 9th inning.
And he's hit with a poor spot. And Mitch Williams is coming on. Biggio. So we said that we didn't see Mitch Williams, of course, until it got to a save situation, and it did. Cincinnati Reds are now beating Montreal 12-3 in the top of the 9th inning. As a bases loaded walk of Barry Larkin has scored John Smiley. There it is. 12-3, Cincinnati over Montreal at Olympic Stadium. So the Phillies with a golden chance to go 8.5 up, 9 in the loss column. They can finally get this game over with. They have had some harder shows here in the last couple of weeks in the 9th inning with leads. There are the numbers on Mitch. He's pitched very well in his last 2 times out. Williams picked up saves June 1st and 2nd at Cincinnati. Phillies wins. Pitching a total of 2 innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. And he'll be facing Kevin Bass from the right side.
David West was able to blow Bass away last time he faced him.
But Fergosi had seen enough and decided to go this way.
You'll remember that's when we first really noticed how good a slider West was throwing, because he threw him to Kevin Bass.
There's West, who's done a great job for the Phillies this year, and he had a strong 8th inning and then just had a lot of trouble in the 9th. I guess this is West to Biggio. Like, oh man, there's another one. And there is West looking on as he says, come on, Mitch. And there's Biggio just hit the home run. That's Pete Harnish sitting next to him. So we'll pitch here Wednesday night in our next Prism telecast. He'll be opposed by Terry Mulholland. 4-run inning for the Astros here in the 9th. Phillies still have a 2-run lead, and Bass, the batter, he's hit a home run tonight. He's 1 for 4. And here comes Mitch. And it's outside, ball 1. The on-deck batter is Bagwell, who has power. There is Jeff Bagwell with 10 home runs on the year.
Mitch Williams You really want to just, if you have to, say here comes a fastball, hit it. I mean, you do not want to walk this guy and bring Bagwell. You want this guy to hit to get on. No free passes, make him earn it.
If he hits the ball, the ballpark will still have a 1-run lead. There's the fastball over for a strike. Mitch with 16 saves on the year.
Played by